Somebody help me. This is a genuine plea for help. Somebody fix me.
One little programming note for KFC Radio today. This episode is a lot like one of the greatest movies I've ever seen, Oppenheimer, in that it bounces kind of from timeline to timeline. The episode's a little bit disjointed because after Caroline yelled at us about Barbie, then Kelly came in to yell at us about Barbie, but that was on Tuesday when we usually record on Wednesday. So then Jackie came in to yell at us about Barbie on Wednesday. So we're going to kind of piece all of that together so that you hear Jackie and then Kelly's thoughts, and then we'll get into all of our voicemails and alien talk and all the other stuff on KFC Radio. But it's the finale of the Barbie drama today on KFC Radio. All right, Volume 3, the Barbie finale. Now, everybody on the show. Actually, did you guys see it?
I have not.
Seen it yet.
Okay. Jackie finally saw it. We've seen it. We've argued about the same thing for 45 minutes. For like 60 minutes, let's make it a full 80.
Do you remember, there's a tweet that used to be so fun. I feel like it was from Caucasian James maybe, but like maybe he just retweeted it once, whatever. And it's this guy who finds a genie. Mm-hmm. And the genie comes out of that bottle and he says, I can grant you one wish. What would you like? And he says, a sliced apple pie. And the genie's like, okay. And he eats his apple pie. He goes, you get a second wish. What would you like? He says, sliced apple pie. And he's like, okay. Enjoys his apple pie. I grant you one more wish. What would you like? And he goes, what do you fucking think, pal? And that's how I feel like talking about Barbie. What are we talking about today? What do you fucking think, pal?
What do you fucking think, buddy? Barbie, the finale. After...
I've slept on things. I've thought about things.
Acknowledge the roller skates real quick?
Oh, they're not roller skates?
Sorry.
They are moonwalkers.
Okay.
Get it straight. They're from the future. Fuck you.
This has clearly become about something that's not the movie.
Yes.
My stance on the movie remains unchanged. It's fine. And when you say it's fine, when you went in with $100 million budget, marketing, and I went in thinking it's the movie of the year, and I said it's fine, it sounds more negative than anything, which is how it was. I went with really high expectations. Mm-hmm. I declared it's fine. That's a negative review. And in reading the reviews and even talking to people, where like I was talking to Kelly last night, and she's like, "You're just like the beach thing. Like it's just goofy." And I was like, "Fair,
yes,
it's just goofy, and that's fine."
Right.
And I saw like some unnamed people at Barstool Sports who talk about movies. I saw their reviews, and it's definitely messy. It gets lost in the subtlety sauce at points, but goddamn, is it a fun theater experience? I didn't have a fun theater experience. I thought my theater, it was a pretty largely it was okay. Unironically, one of the bigger dudes rock movies in forever. I get some of the complaints, but personally, I loved it. Very annoying discourse aside, this is a good, fun movie that I liked quite a bit. Not perfect, but knew what it was. All three of those things are just saying it was fine.
Brother, that is three people afraid to tell the truth.
They all say
that
it's
fine.
That
is three dudes. No, I swear, I really mean this. I can't speak for them. I'm not saying that I know this, but my gut would tell you that is three guys afraid to say that they don't like the movie because what is happening to everybody who says they don't like the movie. This feels exactly like Game of Thrones, the final season, where and for different reasons, but when me and Clem were like, this shit sucks, and Ellie Schnitt and a bunch of like diehard Thrones fans were playing the like, you don't get it, it's above your head. And I remember being like, I don't know, dude. Like, when I watch something, my gut either says like this is good and I like it, or this is bad and I don't. And I'm telling you the truth. I'm not trying to be contrarian. It's not that I didn't get it. It's just that I see these are the problems that I think. And everyone screamed and yelled and told me I was an idiot. But I was kind of like, I don't know. Like, I really don't think so. And I just stuck to my guns. And then as time went on, everybody just kind of slowly admitted. Now, that was different because more shit episodes kept coming out. And this is just it. But I think when people settle down and stop like fighting the war, I think a lot more people are gonna go like, yeah, that movie.
It was fine, and I don't want to talk about the movie itself anymore because I don't want to talk about
any of this ever again.
It was. I think some of those guys had like an 83, an 84. I know DJ Bean, who I usually agree with movies on, he had a C-. If you put a gun in my head and you asked me what the movie was, I probably would have given the C, the letter version of fine. And that's all my point was, where like the movie the movie to me was like Blake Bortles, which is a nice career, fine career, but he was the number one overall pick, not number one overall pick, but he's the top draft pick.
Right.
And at that, when you're have that kind of build up, that's kind of disappointing.
Right.
So whatever.
I would say it's like
my,
Ryan Leaf, like a steaming pile of shit disaster of a career.
But clearly it's become about more than that. If you're listening, Kelly's about to tell us how everyone at the office hates us now.
Everyone's talking shit about you behind your backs, both of you.
No. Yeah. And in talking with her a little more, I've learned that some people are considering leaving the company.
Okay.
Now.
Okay, so here's the thing. That was bullshit the way she did that, because you can't, first of all, come on to our show when we didn't want anybody to come on our show, ever. Nobody was invited. We just wanted to do our thing, but we are like, we said, this is cool. Like, I want this.
I do want that. I tweeted it going forward. Like, I would have felt weird going and grabbing a woman, being like, come speak for women about the movie. Yeah. But I'm glad people did come in.
I don't care if it's like, you're passionate because we're fighting. You're passionate because you love it. Agree, disagree, funny, like a fun thing, a serious thing. It makes for great content and great radio to like burst in and like, let's do this. Feels like Barstool Radio. We are built on that. To then come in and lead off with like, everyone's talking shit about you, and you can see that it was like, I can't wait to tell you this. Like, everyone's talking shit about you, everyone thinks you suck, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, now you can't unsay that. And now that makes me be like, well, fuck you guys, because we were talking about a movie. And now if you are like judging me and specifically doing it behind my back, then now it's like, well, fuck, okay, then fuck off. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, you probably shouldn't come on our show. You probably shouldn't do this kind of stuff if it's gonna affect you that much. And if you want to leave the company, then I would probably say this. I mean, I would say this company isn't really. If it wasn't this, it would be something else, where eventually it would not work out for you.
I don't want. That was kind of like a clarify. I'm like, all right, well, now it's getting again a little ridiculous if a mid to low level Barstool employee's movie opinion, you're like, I can't be here anymore. I'm like the Barbie version of a Barstool employee.
I'm like a C- employee.
If my opinion is like I can't be here anymore, that's crazy to me, but I don't like hearing it. And I also should note, when Bedman said the N-word, I didn't hear any of that. I didn't hear anyone be like, I can't work here. I said a movie was okay. It was all right. But clearly it's about the tone I used when I talked about it and all that stuff. And I don't like people not like... My movie stance remains unchanged. Yeah. A word Kelly used a lot and used later was delicate. I was not delicate about the movie. I went to Barbenheimer. I went to the summer event, and I reviewed it like it was the summer event. I just said I didn't consider anything else. That's probably a problem. I didn't consider anything else until Caroline sat on that couch, and she was like, "Female director, female lead in a comedy, female like." I didn't even realize any of that. I just watched the movie and said, I obviously knew it. I knew Greta Gerwig directed it. I knew Margot Robbie's a star. I didn't think about any of that. I just watched the movie. That was the summer blockbuster and went, disappointing.
Right.
That's it. I don't like
this is like everything with Barstool. Like when people do get offended or upset, and we always kind of go back to intent, where it was like, I'm not trying to like stir the pot for that sake. I'm not trying to be offensive, to be like edgy. We tell our jokes, give our takes, have our opinions, and sometimes that is the result of it. But I don't go in. I was not like, I mean, I did tell her, like, saying a 0 out of 10 is obviously like I'm being a little bombastic for the video. But I was not like, I like this movie, but I'm going to say I don't to piss people off. And that's kind of how it's being characterized in a way. Like, so if that, like I did not go into my video being like, I should be delicate about this. And I don't necessarily think we should. if I were to find out that like every girl who works here is going to be upset and leaving the company and shit like that, yeah, I probably just like, I guess I would have been like, all right, I won't make that make that video. But like the fact that that is the reaction, and in hindsight, we're supposed to know that or predict that or whatever, and not be like, oh, I'm just gonna say my opinion about the movie that's out. I guess I'm part of the problem, and I'm old and out of touch, and you're gonna be disappointed and disgusted in me. I just thought it was fair game to say whether you like the movie or not. And it just sucks that there's 3 people at the company who said that they don't like the movie, and all 3 are getting the same treatment. I think that's kind of showing that anybody who says anything negative about it just gets this treatment. That's kind of bullshit.
I probably should have been more delicate, like those reviews were. It wasn't a movie I considered being delicate about. It was just like I wasn't indelicate.
I was pretty fucking delicate.
I wasn't indelicate. I wasn't delicate. I just saw the movie, and I get it. Like I guess I should have been more delicate. I will be more delicate going forward.
I also just think
I don't want to walk around the office and be like, everyone hates me because I didn't love a movie. That sucks.
Right, but I also don't want to have to like apologize and be like make it a big thing either. It should just be like, I don't know, there's so many things we disagree on, and just like we just keep it moving.
I apologize. Because I've seen people in these fights where I'm like, just apologize. Who cares? I am sorry if you were like offended that I didn't love the movie.
Like I said,
I
did not want this to be the result. And I would going back, I would have just shut my mouth and silenced myself. I don't think that's what we're about or what even that movie's about. But I would have just said, I'm not going to say anything because people are going to get upset. I truly never, ever imagined this.
It's actually
in 100 million years.
A pretty interesting time to be mentions clean, because I have no idea what the internet thinks about it. I know it upset the women here. I don't like that. So I apologize. I don't know.
The only thing I saw was the overly negative response, and that was the video I made was titled, "If you're triggered by this movie, you're not a real adult." So that was the only thing I saw, was like the Ben Shapiro's of the world and like the threatened fragile males, and I made a video saying like that's bad. But
when Keegs comes in, she came in with some quotes, and there was one I wanted to just...
This is going to be so disrespectful. Whatever comes out of his mouth here.
It was a Variety quote where it says, Greta Gerwig says, everybody was crying on set when America Ferrera delivered her epic women's speech. The men were crying too, because they have their own speech they feel they can't ever give, and they have their own twin tightrope, which is also painful. They wanted to say it was just okay.
Tears streaming down their eyes. One day, I want to live in a world where I can just say the girl movie is okay. I have a dream.
Anyway, Jack, you want to step in a pile of shit?
Enjoy the dumpster fire.
What do you think?
I loved the movie.
Fantastic. I'm very happy
10 out of
about
10.
that.
I also went into
I thought it was great writing too.
No, I thought it was like the most fun, like heartwarming watch I've seen in like a very long time. And I thought it was so cute. I thought it was so fun. And I went into it with expectation, hearing like it was going to be cheesy. It was going to be like hit you over the head. So I was expecting that. And like that was exactly the tone of the movie. And like that's what I was expecting. I could see how like your guys' opinion, if you're not like a girl watching it, and like I feel like it's like when you're in the movie theaters and you feel like emotions from a movie, it's like you're on Molly and you're like feeling it and whatever.
Yeah.
But like if you guys aren't feeling those emotions in the first place, then like I could see how you would just be like, okay, I've heard this before. Like it's just words to you.
But like I even like, and this is what I mean by tone. Like I didn't mean like, oh, I've heard this before. I meant like I went to the summer blockbuster comedy, and it told goofy jokes that I've heard before. Not like I've heard women say this, but just like I've heard that.
Like we said, we wanted to walk out being like, oh wow, I never thought of that. I never heard of that.
I never thought of it in the moment, and I actually talked to Keegs. I told Keegs later where I was like, and I said it here too, where Shane has a joke that I just fucking love. It's like one of my favorite jokes of all time. Is when he says, people talk about you're either racist or you're not. but like that's not how it works. He's like, it's like being hungry. Like, sure, you're not right now, but if a cheeseburger cuts you off on the highway, and I was like, it's a funny way to say it. Maybe I am a little racist. And I was just expecting something like that, and I didn't have one of those. So like I wasn't like, oh, we've heard this. I just meant like, oh, like that's a way I didn't see it, or I haven't heard it put that way before, is what I meant.
Yeah. No, I tune out for a little bit, but sorry, but the cheeseburger thing is.
She fell asleep. She fell asleep in the movie. She just fell asleep in the movie.
She's like, I've heard this guy talk before.
Yeah.
No.
He's not saying anything different.
I was thinking about what I say, because I feel like I don't want to be Switzerland, but like I'm gonna be Switzerland. Like I get why you guys wouldn't like it, because like how could you know the female experience? How could you be able to relate to it? You wouldn't. But I love the movie. But you guys are my bosses. So I'm not gonna like bitch you out. But also I
don't do that.
I know, no.
Bitch, if you're a bitch,
but I'm also like I didn't feel any kind of like anger towards you guys at all.
Because that would be fucking insane.
Yeah, I know.
Because I'm not a crazy person.
I hope it didn't come across at any point where I was like, I was never trying to argue that you shouldn't have enjoyed the movie. If someone goes to a movie and enjoys it, that's fantastic. Good for you. I was never trying to be like, and this is probably just part of, people kicking in the door to your studio and sitting down, where like I felt under attack. So maybe I, in fog of war, didn't have the right tone or whatever. Or maybe I even said some things I don't actually mean. But like, in my memory, I was never like, you should have hated this movie.
I just feel like I'm Switzerland on everything.
Well, you're like Switzerland if Switzerland started World War II and then backed out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what's happened here.
Like Oppenheimer.
It would be like if Switzerland fucking fired the shot heard around the world and then said, I can see both sides.
I was trying to be Switzerland the whole way. That's what a fucking C means. But I just did it wrong, and I apologize.
Anyways, I'm pretty scared to talk about this topic, but I thought it was a great movie, and I think that you guys are great guys, and I don't think that you guys hate women, and I'm gonna stop talking about this. What?
Some.
They cut you off on the highway.
I have individualized women I hate. I'm very glad you enjoyed it. I'm good.
I did really enjoy it. I think like it's so fun. I think that all guys should watch it, because like now you have to. Like now you just gotta like fucking like.
Yeah, it's like, in retrospect, it's the best movie I've ever seen, because I've been talking about it for
yeah.
But I think.
Women, you should.
What's that?
And to support women, you should go.
And to support women, yes. Things I didn't realize, but yes, female cast and blah blah blah. But I think I honestly think like one of my only talents is like I'm pretty good at reading rooms. Like I'm pretty good at like knowing what the temperature is on things. Except when Ben says the N-word and I come on and I'm like, that was fucking wild. and with Barbie, where like my experience, that one of the reviews was like it was a fun theater experience. My theater experience was like people enjoyed it. It was pretty funny, and no one. It wasn't a hysteria. It was like yeah, it was pretty good, and that's a disappointment when you thought it was going to be a huge thing.
Yeah.
And then like even walking out, you hear the murmurs
of like, what do you think, man?
And everyone was like, yeah, it was okay. Like that, and so I just walked out and I tweeted, "Was that for kids?" And I stand by that because I felt like it was a little childish, perhaps intentionally. And I think everyone I've talked to, we seem to actually agree. So that just means I just did a bad job explaining my opinion. Where I'm like, yeah, it was fine. It was a little silly. It was goofy. It's fine. It's a C.
I also think that you should go into it thinking, like, this is kind of how I went into it thinking, because, like, it's so over your head, like, over the head, over, like, whatever, like, with the message. I think that...
Hitting you over the head.
Hitting you over the head. Yeah. I did not phrase that well. But but, like, in a good way, because I think if you go into it thinking it's for kids, I love thinking that little girls are going to watch it and they're going to be told, like, the American Ferrera scene was definitely exactly what I thought based on the way it was described. But it's like if you're a young girl and you're listening to that and you're watching it and then you're thinking, I just liked that it's prepping them, being like, this is what's going to go on in the world. Like, this is what you're going to feel. This is what, it's not normal to feel this push and pull, contradictory, whatever. I'm not phrasing this
No,
well.
I get what you're
But
saying.
like I think if you go into like I was happy that it was very obvious because I like the idea that like young girls are gonna
Like everyone will get
whatever.
it. It won't go over anybody's
and
head.
then it's like one of those things where you're kind of reminded like yeah we're gonna keep saying this until something changes, and so you know what I mean. I phrased that like
No,
you
I-
always
no.
said yourself. You make sense. You always say like I didn't. I'm not saying about. Well, I got it. I understand what you're saying. I think that is kind of my point. Is that if you went in expecting something else, and it's on me for expecting something else because the movie is the movie, and you can't be like I wanted it to be something different than it was. Like the people who don't want the political part of Oppenheimer. It's like that was a big part of the story. But I think that inherently, then we're kind of agreeing on the same page that it was like hit over your head and kind of like boom, here you go. And
that was like my favorite
expectations
part about it.
very much matter. I had really high expectations, and a fun little thing. I'm going to a museum this weekend, and I got a VIP early entrance museum pass, and I was like, it's just gonna be fucking me in there. Like, it's gonna be so sick. And when I booked it, I accidentally scrolled and saw a review, and the review said way more people than I thought it was gonna be for a VIP early entrance, like hundreds. I'm very glad I read that review because I would have been like, "What the fuck? This sucks." It's so good. Now I'm like, okay, it'll be a smaller group than usual, but
still,
it's still a lot, not just me in this museum.
Right.
And I thought it was gonna be only person museum expectations, and now I'm like, okay, it was fine.
Right. Yeah, I the only thing I would say, I thought that the one joke I haven't brought up yet, and I kept meaning to every time I forgot, was when Barbie. When she says, people keep calling me a fascist, but I don't even have control of the railroads. That is getting praised for being like highbrow humor, because it is. And it's like, if you know about fascism, it was like they used the railroads and they used that as propaganda to like prop up fascism. And they're like tied together. And that was when Barbie was coming out and shit, I think. And that felt like a joke that was even like over my head. Like I don't know all that shit about it, and I like read up on it, and I was like, that was clever. I feel like there was probably a lot more of that stuff that maybe got cut or changed or whatever to then make it apply to everybody, because it was, I don't think, unless it really was over my head and there's a million jokes that I didn't get. But I feel like that is what it did in order to achieve like mass understanding and mass appeal. But again, I just thought it was not going to be that. So before anything else, let's get to Kelly's interview about Barbie from Tuesday on KFC Radio. All right, Kelly Keegs, the floor is yours.
Hello. First of all, how are you guys?
Just tremendous.
How are you feeling today? This is have you been paying attention to the reception of your thoughts on Barbie?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm happy to bring that to you. Thrilled, more than thrilled.
What do we got?
So I listened to your episode. I listened to everything you said. I think that Caroline hit the nail on the head on a lot of things. I felt you were a little dismissive. And when I say a little, I mean a lot.
Of what?
Of the entire like concept of the movie. I think it sounds a little dismissive. And I'm also coming at I'm yelling at you right now. I'm bitching you out. This is an official bitch out.
Put it on the board.
Everyone's talking shit about you behind your backs, both of you.
No.
I'm here to tell you that as well. Everyone thinks you guys sound old as fuck and very out of touch. And I agree. And I hate this. You know I hate this. I don't want to be the one to tell you that because I love you guys. But I can't let you make fools of yourself anymore.
What is the old stuff? I was just saying, like, I didn't think it was that funny.
It's not that you It's not that you don't like the movie. It's not that you didn't think it was funny. It's how dismissive you are about the movie as a whole. And I think at this point, it's now been, what day is it? It's Tuesday. It hasn't even been a week yet. This movie's been out. And it's turned into something bigger than like, it's just a movie. You know what I mean? And I think that acknowledging that is nice. But I think that just saying it sucks blatantly is stupid. And I think like...
You're acting like you made the movie yourself.
No, I'm not.
Like,
but this is what I'm saying.
I can't think the movie's not funny.
You can think the movie's not funny, but
it's not that well written.
But the way that you're saying it, the way that you're talking about it, the way that you are like, it's just not funny. It's just not funny. It sounds like you're saying it's not funny because it like, you didn't like the way it was written because it wasn't written for you.
In your guy's head, like we keep bringing up.
But even
like,
that right now, like that's in our head, like that's in whatever. That to me doesn't sound the
like
way
you're
everything is coming out of your mouth is sounding wrong.
I don't like this movie. You're making it sound like I watch this and it's almost like I think it's funny, but I'm going to say it's not because it's written by a woman or something
no
like
one's
that.
saying that about you.
Like-
No one is thinking. Here's the problem: is I was hoping that maybe you guys are being a little contrarian on purpose. Like, okay, we're here. It sucks. We're dramatic. I'm dramatic. I say things dramatically all the time. To say the movie sucks sounds asinine to me. It doesn't.
I don't think either of us are saying it sucks.
I did. I don't.
You said
I don't
it sucks
think
multiple times. You said it sucks multiple
I would
times.
never like watch it again, and I would not recommend it to someone. That's my
Right.
barometer.
I think my stance on it was
I wouldn't say like I went to it not opening night, but like first week I did.
Yeah.
I did it all. Like
when Caroline came in and was like, it's about representation. I was like, oh, that's a different thing.
Every single issue that was brought up, we were like, agree.
I think it's a lot about representation. I think it's a lot about feeling heard. I think it's a lot about just having something that honestly, I think the whole movie feels like an inside joke for women. And if like guys don't think it's funny or guys don't think whatever, I'm like, oh, well, that's the fucking point. Like you don't get it. Like this is what we deal with all the time. What? The smart thing that you thought? Because you're right. You're spot fucking. I listened to the whole thing. You're spot on with that.
Yeah.
That is exactly what it is. It was.
But then that has to admit that you have to admit that a lot of it was like hit you over the head.
Yes,
obvious.
Yes, that is the whole.
And that's
point.
what I didn't like. And that's just
so you just don't like to. You don't.
I don't like things like very obvious. No, yeah, I thought the way this and this is also a lot about the hype.
Don't you feel the opposite here? I guess the argument also goes the other way. Is that every movie that, and Caroline said this, every movie that's like a comedic movie for men, whatever, blah, 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 all of those jokes, the jokes about the women in those movies, I'll laugh, I'll chuckle, I'll roll my eyes, but I'll laugh. Did you not like roll your eyes and laugh at anything in this movie?
I chuckled. I
said I was
it
like,
was not like
times.
uproarious laughter. Like when she compared it
when I tell you I almost peed my pants like 5 times, I'm not even kidding. Like
I'm like, I know all your guys' sense of humor.
Fucking
at least
funny.
You more than Caroline. And I'm like,
that's why I'm so shook by this. I'm shook by this conversation. I even have to be in here. I thought for sure you guys would be on it. You know what I mean? No, I do. I feel.
Let's establish it's a want to.
Yes, want to. But I also feel like you guys are my friends. Like this, it feels weird. It feels weird when we disconnect on something like this.
You're making this about like our friendship.
No, I'm saying that I'm so shocked that you guys think this way. Like, I thought I knew you better. That's what I'm saying.
I think it's crazy that you're saying, like, be better about liking or not liking a movie.
You can not like the movie. I never said you can't like the movie. The way that you guys are shitting on it, to me, sounds like you're dismissing the entire thing as kind of shitty, and you're not going to recommend it to anybody in your life. You're not going to recommend it to women in your life.
I recommend it to everyone because I say go watch it because I'm like, am I taking crazy pills?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just, and Caroline made a good point too. Like, maybe it's just not for you, whatever. That's all fine. But then why go on a rant? Be like, it sucks so bad. Like, your
I mean,
your
that's what I do.
No, I know that's what you do. So that's what I'm asking. Do you actually feel that way? Is what I'm asking. Do you actually feel that it sucks that bad?
I do feel like. I mean, saying a 0 out of 10 is exaggerating.
Yes. Okay.
Saying I don't think that movie's good, I would not recommend it. I will never watch it again. That's all very true. Mm-hmm. I don't think making a movie video being like, I could understand that a young girl seeing that is impactful, but I don't like, I'm like.
I guess though, but even the tone of that is like, oh god.
Review a movie, like
for sure.
It was Oppenheimer and it was Barbie and it was this and it was that. And it was two opposite extremes. But I thought one was like the top movie of all time, and I thought one I was like, oh. Also, the hype behind it is what we were just talking to Jim Gaffigan about it. He had the opposite experience. He was like, I wasn't even gonna go see Barbie. I was like, that shit is not for me. But my daughter's friends canceled, and so I went with her. And he said he was like, oh, okay. Yeah. And I went in being told that, or at least under the assumption from either things that I heard or heard through third hands or the grapevine, that this was going to like change Hollywood and that there were executives like staking their career on this being the best script they've ever heard and read. And so because when I first saw Barbie, I was like, oh, this is going to be a funny thing that for kids who grew up on it, guys or girls.
I was a big Barbie guy.
You would like it.
You had Alan.
And then I heard.
No, I had Barbies. I had Barbies way too late.
I'm kidding.
And then I heard that it was something. I was like, oh wow, okay, maybe this is gonna be something like very clever and unique and like symbolic, and then it's gonna make me think. And I feel like a lot of the messages was like things we've heard before, and maybe it was put together.
But I think that line of thinking is what's pissing everybody off. Like being like, oh, we've heard it all before. It sounds like an eye roll. It sounds like you're rolling your eyes.
It's not.
I rolled my eyes at America.
I'm not doing an eye roll. I said to Kevin.
That to me, like. makes me sick to my stomach. Like rolling your eyes at America Ferrera's speech. I understand that
Not the message of it.
No, but listen.
I get the message.
I
I'm saying the
understand
movie being-
that, and some girls think this too. They think that the speech was a little like, okay, we get it.
That's all I'm saying.
No. But like, you can shut the fuck up about that. Like, I can say, yeah, okay, we get it.
Yeah, I can, but I can also voice my opinion about the fucking movie.
No, I know.
And I don't think that should make
But
me
saying
like,
that,
I hate you or
that
women.
you think America Ferrera's big speech about how it's difficult being a woman, you rolled your eyes at that? That sucks.
At the moment,
that to me is a bad attitude.
I think when I heard that they shot that 50 different times and like that was the core moment of the movie, I do think that was stunning to me because I was like,
I felt that it was.
I've heard
that's
like
what I'm saying.
you
Like, I
give
felt that it
same
was.
speech before. I've heard that like from other people, and I'm not saying I disagree with it. I totally understand the
But it
message.
sounds like you're sick of it.
I'm not sick of it. I'm surprised that was what was like the big moment of like writing and delivery and
I felt that part of the movie, maybe the writing itself, if you write it down on a piece of paper and you read it out, which I've seen and I've read the whole thing, reading through it, it's like, yes, I've said this before, I've heard this before, I've seen this before, none of this is new. Her delivery during that scene, in my opinion, was, you could feel the frustration, you could feel the anger, you can see it on their faces. It's the moment in the movie where the men have come in and they've taken over everything and they all feel like, what the fuck? I can't believe the real world is coming into this, which we have made this perfect world, and they're coming in and they're fucking it up, and it's what snaps them out of it to take themselves back. Like, it is a big moment in the movie. And like, I guess I don't want to boil it down to, well, it's just a movie that I wanna review. That to me, yes, sure. When I went to go see the movie the first time, I thought, oh, I'm excited to see what happens in this movie. Am I gonna like it? Am I gonna think it's cheesy? Is it gonna be over the top? Are they gonna hit me over the head with all of the, girl power, whatever? Because I don't like that either. I don't like a hit me over the head with girl power shit. I think it's annoying sometimes, whatever. This was not that for me. And I am shocked about just the people online, trolls online. I can't always like believe trolls online or believe that that's actually what the opinion of the world is, because that is hard.
Is there a lot of people saying this?
It's men. Men are saying it. It's incels and horrible people that are in my bullshit all say this all day long. They say it sucks.
But those are the people saying like the Ben Shapiros of the world who are like, this is like
all those people are saying it. But something that bothered me too. And why I think I'm now like, I'm completely galvanized about this, by the way. Like I'm on a different plane. Like it's just we're past reality for me when it comes to this, because I feel really strongly about it. What bothered me was when I was talking to my parents. I texted my mom. I said, oh my God, I'm seeing the Barbie movie. I'm so excited. My mom was like, oh, I heard it sucked. I heard it got bad reviews. Because my dad goes on and he sees all the bullshit online and he's like, oh, that movie sucks. Of course, it's going to be all about like blah, 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 inclusion, whatever. And that's like my own issue to deal with at home. I can't believe that that's my dad talking shit like that. And that's my mom believing him. So if there are people like that running around here, I feel like I have a responsibility as somebody who has, I don't know, talks in a microphone sometimes, to say that this is normal and it's fine to have cried at the Barbie movie 5 times, because it sends a message that's important. And I think that if you want to roll your eyes at it, that's fine. But if it's something that like, yes, maybe you've heard it a million times before, but what's the harm in hearing it one more time? What's the harm in somebody who's never heard it before hearing it for the first time? What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Why does that make it a cheesy fucking movie?
That does not make it a cheesy movie.
Okay. I think that's the point.
That's fine. Yeah, like if there are people who
I brought a quote. I brought a couple quotes. This is something I said or I saw online. I'm just screenshotting things I see online so I could bring in here and say them. This one says that, it compares the Barbie movie to the Taylor Swift tour and why both are so successful. Why did Barbie like blow everything out of the fucking box office? Why is Taylor Swift selling every single thing, whatever it says?
Isn't that a good point though? Like Taylor Swift has been talking about this shit forever.
What do you mean? No,
like
yeah.
These messages.
People are like being like, oh, whatever. Right. Listen,
but so
listen what it
that's
says.
kind of my point in that.
No,
like,
listen what it says.
It's not revolutionary.
Listen to what it says. No. You're wrong. Listen what this says. An obvious lesson from the gargantuan success of both is that there is a huge undeserved market for entertainment that takes the feelings of girls and women seriously.
I don't agreed.
Totally.
But then why do you then how come you guys being like, oh, the speech is lame, this, that, whatever? How do you not see that feels like you're not taking anything seriously? Like, how can you separate the two, I guess, is what I'm asking. I understand wanting to separate the two, but I'm telling you with this, you can't separate the two.
So I will never say this again then. I will not voice my opinion on Barbie again.
Okay. My job is done.
Good.
But I do have this
but
one
you
says
still read your quotes. Okay.
No. I have one more quote I wanted to say, and this is something that I think that I read this. I don't know where this came from. Some bitch. I think that it's something that a lot of people are worried about all the time when they are like fighting with people. And I only say this because like we're friends. Obviously I don't, whatever. You're my friends. I'm not being a bitch, but people are talking shit. That's why I'm here for real. But something I saw, it says, I would rather adjust my life to your absence than adjust my boundaries to accommodate your disrespect. And that's the energy that's out here right now. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to be like a total cunt. I'm trying to be, it's bigger than you think.
Cool.
It's a great movie.
Loved it. Can't wait to see it again.
I think that was great.
Thank you, Jackie.
I really do. I like the dad part a lot. My
Thank
dad
you.
said the same thing.
No, and it fucked me up a little bit. It fucked me up a little bit.
Are you guys just
it's
learning
fine.
that
I'm
opinions
fine with-
affect people?
Are you fucking, you know what, Jackie? Let's leave. Let's leave this place.
This is the first time you realize
No, but
your
do you-
dad gets
that
news
sounded-
and feeds it to your mom?
That was such a dick thing for you to just say.
I know, but
John,
you
I
do-
love you so much, and you just fucking said that. Like, that's so rude.
It's not rude. It's like, yeah, I know.
I think you
Sometimes
guys have been
my
like chilling with
parents'
the boys
opinions
too much. Like, you
affect
gotta
each
get
other.
you gotta get some bitches up in your life because you've been chilling with the boys too much, and it's like it's a little crazy.
But I don't know. I knew my
I
parents'
have
opinions
never
affected
heard
each
you
other.
talk like that though. Like I feel like you guys didn't used to talk like this. I
Talk
feel like all of a sudden,
what, dude?
I feel no. Listen.
God, I was almost out.
Listen. I know that you're saying this. I feel like you guys aren't this. You'll be contrarian. You'll talk shit. You'll do whatever in like a joke way. This one felt serious, which is why it's like that feels kind of
I
weird.
seriously didn't like the movie. Everything else about the fucking subject matter, I agree with.
Okay.
I have done so much for all the girls here, and like, and now it's like I said one thing about a movie, and you guys are talking shit. Fine, fucking go say whatever you want.
It's not just the movie. It's the message behind the movie that it feels like we're getting eye
Got it.
rolls
We've
to.
agreed to that so many times now. In about 80 minutes of talking, we have agreed about the message behind it. We agree that the fight that you guys have to go through sucks. I wish it was different. We try to actively make it different by doing shit like this and doing a lot for you girls. That is all
That one's
in
gonna hurt.
agreement.
That one's gonna hurt.
The frustration that you're feeling. It's just the frustration we feel all the time.
Yeah.
I'll keep saying stuff like that. This is what I'm saying. Like, it's not. I get it. I get you're
What?
pissed off. You're frustrated. Whatever. Blah blah.
No,
Like,
but I'm just saying that we're in agreement about.
No, I know, but it doesn't. You're saying that now. Now they're having this conversation. Yesterday, you were singing a different tune. That's what I'm
Yesterday
saying.
I was talking about the movie and like the script and the delivery and the expectations and the hype and how that was all different from what I expected.
Yeah.
There was never a moment where I was going to be like, Barbie, I didn't think Barbie was going to be about feminism, or that surprised me, or the message, like that I all understood. I thought it was going to be like delivered a little bit differently, or
What did you? What did you expect? Like, what did you actually
thought there
expect
was
as far
gonna-
as delivery? Like, what,
I thought there was
if you-
going to be some
if there
sort
was
of like
something that would come into your
like
life and that was going to knock you
symbolism.
over the head, right? What would that have been?
I
to
don't
really
know.
blow your
That's
fucking
why
mind?
That's why I was like, I can't believe that Barbie is being like portrayed as this, because what it was is what I originally thought it was going to be, is like people acting like dolls, like a lollipop, like goofy, funny, silly sort of way.
Yeah. Okay.
And I thought it was going to be
Which I felt like it
more. That's what it was, is what I'm saying. And I
Right.
didn't think it was going to be as like lollipop. I thought it was going to be like
had. Oh, I see. Sorry.
written in a like rather than the feminism and like the speech and the representation being like boom, here it is, which is maybe what they wanted to do, because they wanted to reach people who, I was saying yesterday, we have like grown up in a city, we work at this company. I would have yesterday thought that people thought of us as more, I don't want to say progressive, but more like not,
Well, no,
not
I mean,
a part of the
that's what I'm
problem.
saying is you guys are the
But it
good guys,
sounds
but
like
all of a sudden you're
then
not.
there's-
But I
then
just like
now we're being a like, if you wanted to reach,
I'm not a good guy, by the way. Don't give me a good guy label, because then I have to live
Well, no,
up to it.
I mean,
I'm not a
you
good guy.
guys are the good guys here. Like you said it before. Yes, me personally, done a ton for me. Yes, as a person, I know you like me as a person. I don't know if that has anything to do with the fact I'm a woman, but I know that you like me as a person and you do a lot for me. Does that have to do with the fact that I'm a woman, though?
no, I mean,
Exactly. So I don't know if you can claim like I've done so much for the girls here. Is
no,
it because they're girls?
Well, I'm just saying that, like, no, I'm saying that, like, I thought, I don't know, I would never have thought that yesterday would have like changed, like Caroline's like opinion of me has now changed, but I guess it has. I don't know. We're working on like sketch comedy together. We're trying to build this comedy thing. If people now don't like me or think that I'm, I don't know, a good person or whatever, I'm okay.
I thought it was so fun when everybody was like, oh, Barbenheimer, Op and Barbie, whatever the fuck. I thought that was super fun. Now I don't like that everybody's comparing the two movies. I think that's fucking insane. They're not even in the same
But that's crazy. Like,
category
of course
movie.
they were going to. Like, we've been comparing them for
but
6 months.
I guess, but like, no, but people have just been comparing them. Like, it's freezing in here, by the way. I'm like shivering.
We do it to keep the girls
They've just
out.
been comparing. No, I was just gonna say. Well, hey, guess what? That's this whole fucking office, by the way. The whole fucking office is this temperature. Yeah, I know. That's why I don't come here. Anyway, I always thought that the comparisons were like aesthetics only. Like, it's funny because it's hot pink, and it's funny because it's black and white atomic bomb whole thing, whatever. But now people are like, Oppenheimer blew it out of the water. Can't believe it. Whatever. They should never have been. They don't have the same.
But
one's
they've
a
been compared for 6 months. It's very
historical
natural.
like thriller bomb movie.
I would
The other
say
one's
to
not.
try to like even the playing field because you can't really compare apples and oranges.
Totally.
The like Oppenheimer's success as a historical drama, whatever the fuck you want to call that.
Yeah.
It was a better one of those movies than Barbie was a comedy.
I don't know if. I mean, yeah, Barbie's a comedy. I laughed my ass off. I like I said, I almost peed my pants. Whatever.
I also say
I don't
like,
think I would put Barbie. It's hard because
And that's actually
I don't
kind of
necessarily
what I'm talking about,
think
is I
like
thought it was gonna
it's a
be
comedy. I think it's a
commentary on.
yes. Like
But
I think it's more of
thought
a
it was gonna
a
be
cult
like,
classic type movie.
put it this way, I thought I was gonna walk out of Barbie.
I've never
being
seen a
like,
cult classic and been like, it was okay, and had people upset me about
Yeah.
it.
It sounds like you
But what
guys
other,
just
like,
wanted
cult
everybody to love
classic-
it, and then if they didn't,
No,
you just say,
I expected
it's not
everyone
for
to
you,
fucking
and then you
hate
say
it.
it's over your head.
No. I expected everyone to
that's all
fucking
I'm
hate
hearing.
it. I was actually worried for Barbie to come out. I expected everyone to fucking hate it. I expected everyone to hear like, oh, look at all, oh, looks like they checked all the boxes. Oh, looks like we got this, feminist garbage shoved down our throat. I expected that when I went to go see it. And then when I saw it, I went, holy shit, this is actually amazing. People are going to love this. This will span like a huge age difference. And I think it sends an incredible message.
That's
and
where
I want everybody
don't
to.
think it does that.
What do you mean? You don't think it
I
sends
just
a
don't
message?
think. No.
Or
That
it
it
spans ages.
age groups and demographics.
Oh, I think it totally does.
Yeah,
I think it
didn't feel
caps
that way.
out, and I think you guys are too old. But I think that's.
I guess. I
you
mean,
know
I
what
don't know.
Like,
I mean, we're like
again,
think
like
you're
I
saying
hear
that
my
now,
dad
but I
talk.
think,
If you and my dad have the same opinion, is where I'm that through.
But we
like that's
don't.
really for a
don't.
little-
Like your dad is talking about like the feminism
No, I know,
issue.
I
I'm
know.
talking
You're right,
about
you're
the
right, you're right.
comedy. Like when Caroline she compared
I
it
think
to Wedding
it's the
Crashers.
general
I'm just like, I don't know.
malaise.
I was laughing
I
about.
wouldn't compare it to Wedding Crash. There is
that was my point. I was like, what are some of your other really? She was like, that's the funniest movie I've seen in years. And I was like, give me some other movies. And she brought up Wedding Crashers. And it's hard because there hasn't been those funny blockbuster comedies in like a decade. But if you want to compare it to those,
I'll say this. I'll compare it to another like female movie. It was funnier than Booksmart. Booksmart with Beanie Feldman and
I
you
like
didn't see it. Shock.
I like Booksmart.
That was me just riling you up for no reason.
I said this
Booksmart,
before,
Olivia
too, like,
Wilde, Beanie Feldman. They're the girl, graduating high school. It's basically like a super bad
for girls.
for girls.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like that could have been something great. That could have been a whatever. But of course, it didn't. It did well. It didn't do as well as Superbad because it was about women, and that's just a fact. If that were the same, because you know what, the other movie with the kids, Good Boys or whatever, that went fucking crazy for no reason. If I remember correctly. And I was like, that movie is about even younger kids, but again, it's about boys. So it's like, all right, boys, they relate to it. It's their younger selves, whatever. It's like this whole thing. I think Superbad had that same kind of nostalgia and that same kind of, we're all chilling in the basement. I mean, this whole every I said this as a joke. Every guy podcast is in a basement. Every girl podcast is in a sleepover set, and that's me included. I'm having a sleepover. You guys are in the basement. We all want to have that nostalgia. Barbie was a sleepover for us. So
that's exactly it, though. That's what I'm saying. That's what it was, and it wasn't something grander than that.
But I guess I didn't say
that's
because
exactly
I
my
don't
point.
because I
and
I
my
liked
point was that the
Superbad,
hype
even though it
was
wasn't
so
like
but like.
But I didn't say it sucked.
But if you did, I would be like, okay, I don't know.
I guess. I don't know.
I was told it was if there was like a year, if there was like 5 years of hype for Superbad or something, and you were like, that was funny, but it didn't like live up to what we were talking about. Like they put it on like this is going to be a 10 out of 10. This is going to be something you've never seen before. And I was like, I've heard a lot of these theories. I did not walk out of Barbie saying, I've never seen that before, or, oh, I didn't think of it that way, or like that was really cool the way that represented that, and this was symbolic of that.
See, but you lose me there because I did walk out thinking those things. I did see a lot of like a lot of jokes, a lot of what?
What is there one that like jumps out?
I said this in either my blog yesterday or somewhere. I think what moved me most is when Ken goes to the real world and he discovers the patriarchy and he's like, wait, what the fuck? He's like, all the men are in charge
the
here.
Part where they say like we do sneaky.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is exactly correct. And there were a lot of little things sprinkled in.
That's what it was for me. I laughed at the Supreme Court joke.
Supreme Court
I laughed
thing
at when
was
the guy
good.
said, "Yeah, we're just sneaky about it now." Those are all things that I was like,
those were good. But then when Barbie hadn't got back yet and Ken was there and he's, taken over the Barbie dream houses, they're putting horses up everywhere, they've got beers everywhere, it's like, Mojo Dojo Casa House, like that whole thing. And then she comes back and she's so upset it was just like taken from her. She's never experienced that before. I feel like that moment is a moment that happens to women all the time. Like you have something, you think it's great, and then a man comes in and ruins it. And I'm not saying that is like this narrative of, we have to, fuck men forever. I don't agree with that. And I don't think that this movie was anti-man at all. Like we were saying, I think when we were texting, I did say that, but I was being a little flippant about it. I think that the message for men as
you're not allowed to
well.
be flippant about it.
What's that?
Kevin got in trouble for that.
"Yeah."
That's what I'm saying. I'm right here catching myself. I texted you on the side, so if ever you call me out, be like, you said it was anti-man. I was being flippant, and I think that the messaging behind it and the emotions behind it, the feelings behind it, are something I didn't expect, and I think that is what, like, maybe those things you don't get, or that's what you've never experienced it, so it wasn't impactful to you, or you didn't notice it, or you didn't think that was funny, or whatever.
Right.
And that's all fine.
I did not think it was funny. That is what I'm saying. I'm not saying
but
you
it's fine.
should.
I think that
I've never
I don't know.
said
I think
like
it's fine to
you,
be like, I didn't think it was funny personally, but I can see how other people, like, can you you don't want to.
I can see how
You can see why women love it so much is what I guess.
I am surprised that you guys think it's as funny as you think it is. If you said it's impactful, I get it. If you say this is it's like the level of humor, maybe it's not like ha ha ha, but because there's a message behind it, that is something important. If all that, I'm just saying, like, for two people that I know, or at least you, I know like your sense of humor, I would not think that you would be like, holy, I'm peeing my pants. I just wouldn't think that from those sort of jokes.
There was a part where
if you told
I
me like
was choking.
that's exactly what it's like to be a woman
Depression
or whatever.
Depression Barbie, and the like
funny.
Pride and Prejudice joke. Like again, maybe it's too, sport, and maybe it's like too inside baseball, like for girls. Like it's just, you know what I mean?
That could be too. And
like
then,
maybe
and
that's
then
just what it is.
Right. And then that's what I was saying is like I expected it to be something that spans ages, generations, demographics, styles.
But I'm
and
also surprised that you guys didn't, or you weren't laughing more at like the Ken stuff. Like I was, again, laughing so hard when he comes back and he's got the horse stuff everywhere and the beers and the way they were all talking to each other and they don't really know what they're saying, but they know that they have to act this way. Like,
to be fair, I
that
fell
was.
asleep a little bit. I didn't mind this.
Are you out of your mind? He fell asleep in the movie a little bit.
I announced that. It's not a secret. I said I fell asleep.
I'm hearing that for the first time.
I said it on the show.
Yeah.
You must have whispered it because I didn't hear that.
I said, I was like, I fell asleep at a 4 p.m. viewing on a full night's sleep. Like for like 15 minutes.
Well,
I fell asleep when they were driving back to Barbie Land. And
so you missed like all the good Ken jokes then.
I
came back and he's wearing the outfit there. He's like, don't worry, Ken, you look so cool. And he's like wearing like a mink coat. Like it's just, I
saw him in the mink coat.
A funny way to like make fun of
I saw him watch, like, the
typical
Rocky
male
stuff.
tropes in the same way that they made fun of the girl things, or not really made fun of, but like spoke to them. But I thought it was so fucking funny in that way. And I thought for sure I'm like, whatever. Like I feel like you're a tougher critic, I think, when it comes to comedy. I thought that you would have been like loving.
I went in with really high expectations, and I laughed. I laughed a few times. Like I'm not saying it's a piece of shit. I'm like, I laughed a few times. I went in with probably the wrong expectations, and I was like, oh, I thought it was gonna be like a lot funnier, and I think that was pretty much the basis of my opinion. Did you think it was gonna be
like dirty funny? Like what kind of? I don't know.
Well, you told me it's camp, and I said I don't really like camp stuff, so that makes sense.
I like that stuff.
And
like all of those, like
you said that
like,
too. It's
like
camp, which means it sucks, which I don't.
Well,
think
a lot of people usually say camp sometimes, and I'm like, I think that's just bad, and you like it, and you call it camp.
I think that's the wrong definition of camp.
I think people use the camp wrong. I think.
Oh, okay. I would say that Barbie is camp.
And
yes,
and I don't like camp.
Okay.
So like that
I don't even know if I don't like camp. I don't understand camp. I don't get it.
That like goofy, him being like goofy, it doesn't make me laugh. I like dry, witty, satirical, clever shit like that. That's not that. We can agree on that, right?
No. Dry,
okay.
witty, satirical. I feel I feel like so much of this movie was that.
Like the messaging, I understand, but like the delivery of like it being this big, like we're humans pretending to be
I
dolls.
felt like that
and
was
it's
funnier.
like,
I felt that made it funnier when they were saying these like very real things, but like as Barbies. That like kind of made it funny to me. I was like, all right, that's just
right. That doesn't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that to me like
I feel like we've done 80 minutes or whatever, however long this would be now in 3 shows. Where like it was fine, and I've had a million people say it to me off air. Like, yeah, it was fine, and it's just I feel like we're starting to talk in circles. It's like, yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine to talk in circles. I just am, I was surprised personally. I was surprised. And I wish I was here yesterday.
I wish I liked it. Trust me. I fucking wish I came out being like, it was the greatest movie of all time. I think it was fine. Again, we want to talk larger messages. That's a completely different story. The movie itself,
I just feel like you guys didn't just say it was fine, though. I feel like you didn't just say it was fine. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like 80 minutes of conversation going back and forth about it.
Most of them I didn't want to have.
Honestly, yeah. Like, I wish. That's really all it is you should just said it was fine and talked about Oppenheimer for an hour.
That's what we're going to do with every hot topic from now on. Is the topic was fine.
Right.
To be fair, I didn't know it would be a hot topic. I was excited to just go and see a fun movie.
You didn't know Barbie was going to be a hot topic? I went in knowing it was going to be.
I genuinely didn't. I did not think it was going to be a hot topic. I thought that I didn't think people were going to like it as much as they thought. Like I didn't. Like I wouldn't have expected you to like it.
I made the other video being like, if you're threatened by it and you like think that this was some feminist
and that's also fair.
Down,
that's fair.
Like fuck you. And if you think that it's genius, that's fucking ridiculous too, which is where I always am on every fucking topic. Like it's just in the middle, and that was okay.
Yeah, but I don't
and now
think
if you guys are like talking shit and
it,
I'm holding out of touch, like fucking fine.
I didn't think you were in the middle on this one. I think that
I made a video saying that.
No, I know, but I don't.
So that's the fucking. I'm in the middle. If I made a video,
but your middle, I don't think is the middle. Is what I'm saying.
I think me saying this extreme and that extreme are both wrong is the definition of the fucking middle, Kelly.
That's just not how you sounded. Or
I don't think you watched that video.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I saw it. Of course, I saw it because I agree with that completely. Because that's another. Well, I didn't bring up those people because those people are out of their fucking minds.
No,
like, that's,
I mean,
that's Ben Shapiro.
One of the people saying
real.
it's all genius and all that shit.
No, I'm not saying it's genius. I'm saying it's obvious on purpose, and that is what it is, and it's for a reason with a bigger message. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that Greta Gerwig is over here
wanted to be,
calculating and writing. I do actually think that. No, actually, no. I take it back. I do think that a lot of it is like that because that's how she writes. She is like that, and it's a lot of like double entendre stuff. It's a lot of deeper meaning
than it was.
All right. Well.
So everybody go talk their shit.
Okay.
See you later. All right, can I tell you about how I'm poor now? So this morning, I was going to get my beard trimmed, right?
It's so funny that you do that.
I know.
Why don't you just get a clipper and just do it yourself?
They do the line good. I don't know how to do that. It always looks like.
Bro, no one's looking at the line.
Your
line could be crooked. It could be straight.
It's like my makeup. Like it's like what? Is that jawline?
You feel okay. All right. If it makes if it makes you feel confident about yourself, go up, Queen.
It's not a jawline. It is it's fucking my boy Mike who had a family emergency, and I hope everything's okay. I was supposed to get it yesterday. Got a text Monday night, like midnight. It's like, very bold to think I'm awake, I guess. But whatever. None of this matters. So I go to, but they don't take cash, and so I went to the ATM this morning to get cash out. And there was like insufficient funds. Oh. And I was like, I don't have insufficient funds. So I look at my bank account.
Insufficient funds.
Really insufficient funds.
Big time insufficient funds.
Like
way over insufficient?
Like negative $7,000. and so I look, I'm like, what the fuck? That's not right. Because I never use my debit card. It's like I get a paycheck, pay rent, that just sits there. I don't use my debit card ever. And I call Bank of America, and I'm like, Are
you panicking, or were you like, something's wrong?
I checked my statement, and I was like, well, yeah, that's not me. That's fraud. So.
Oh, so you could see the.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I call Bank of America.
No alerts?
I do not disturb, motherfucker. I don't get alerts on shit. I don't get it.
I put my fire alarm on. Put that shit on mute.
You think I have fire alarms? Buddy, I got a hole in the wall where fire alarms used to be because I missed when I was trying to jam it with a fucking broom. and the handle's off my broom. So the metal parts went right through.
Spectacular. Was it one big thing, or there was like $100 a year, $1,000 a year?
It was two big things. It was, and so anyway, so I see that, I'm like, what the fuck, that's crazy. So that was like at 8 o'clock this morning, and I'm just on the phone doing like the robot thing where it's like, what is the issue? I was like, fraud! Fraud! Yeah. And it's like, we can't understand you. Like, and this is going on, and it's actually funny too, because I finally just caught up on Sunday. What a season, by the way.
So good.
And the finale,
I haven't seen that yet, though.
Dennis is going through a lot of this. It's actually, if you listen to the podcast, it's funny, which I don't listen to a ton, but I think I caught an episode where it's fun to see like the process. Mm-hmm. Like Dennis told a story on a podcast ages ago. Like honestly, it was probably I probably listened to like the first 5, 10, whatever, something like that. Mm-hmm. And I know this from then that like he has a Tesla and he couldn't get in the car.
Oh yes,
and
yes,
they were
yes.
like, you can't. You need, and he's like, I can't. Like the key's there or whatever. Like the key's the phone, and the phone's in the car.
Right,
I can't
circular.
get the key. Right.
Yeah.
And there's a situation like that, and it's him always just kind of going through that, and I was like, this is crazy. I'm doing.
Dude, I love that. Like that's what we do with our podcast. They do that with a fucking TV show.
Yeah.
like it made it to that episode you're saying, not like that exact thing, but like.
So
you can tell that Glenn Howerton came in the writers' room that day being like, let's do something about technology. Yeah, that's so sick.
Yeah, it was cool, like having, and maybe I'm wrong, but like knowing that story, I was like, oh, I see a parallel here. I'm guessing this was born of that. But the so it's like literally like an hour of like fraud, put my social security, this and that, and then I finally get on the phone with a person, and they're like, I can't dispute these charges, and I was like, what the fuck? It was from like.
They usually just believe anything.
It was
I'm
like
always tempted to be like,
yeah,
that payment to my nanny is fraud.
But it was like it was like law services something. And it's like, I haven't used a lawyer. Like, this is fraud. I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
Like these are government liens, and I was like, what the fuck? And like here's the number to call. It's from the Massachusetts Department of Revenue, and I was like, what? So I called Massachusetts Department of Revenue, same type deal where it's like, put in this, and I'm like just like on the phone, stressed out, like I don't have any money. I'm like I'm literally like as I sit here right now,
no money.
Negative $7,000 is what John Feitelberg is worth. and so I fucking I call them, and like I finally like it's at this point it's probably about 2 hours, it's probably 10:30 in the morning, something like that, and I'm just like, I'm tired of yelling at machines. I'm tired of yelling at robots. I'm just like begging for human interaction. I'm like, please, I'm hammering zero. Zero doesn't do anything.
Nothing.
Anymore.
I know they got wise to that one.
I used to just go right to zero. Yeah. Zero does nothing anymore.
Or I say, speak to an operator.
Yeah,
and they just go, we're sorry, we cannot compute. Please go back to the main menu. I'm like, fuck.
Dude, the whole time I'm like, I hope they listen back. Like they don't listen back. Like I'm like, someone's at HR listening.
Yeah, this is being recorded for quality of service. Fucking listen.
This is ruining this guy's life. Storing on my apartment. I got my headphones in because I can't have my phone in my ear anymore. I'm like, fraud! It's fraud! And I finally sit there like, and then I'm on hold and I'm just listening to the same song, and finally a voice comes on and says, you're about to speak to 1 minute remaining, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And phone starts ringing, and I'm like, fuck yes, a person's about to answer. I'm about to talk to somebody. Finally, a human moment I'm about to have. Guy just Massachusetts Department of Revenue Service goes, what? And like genuine, honestly, in retrospect, and I lied, like I didn't like burst into laughter, but I was like, it put me in a good mood right away. Where I was like, that was a human interaction. Finally,
now I know.
Like,
I'm talking.
Had they come on the phone and been like, hello, John Feitelberg, thanks for calling. You're a valued member. Blah blah blah. I'd have been like, no, you're a fucking robot with a pulse. I want a human fucking moment. And just what? Like that phone hadn't. The phone of the Mass Department of Revenue hasn't rang in years. Like shocked to see it ring. Like what the fuck? What? Like I was like, you just took all my money. Can I have some of my money back? And he's like, you didn't pay your taxes in 2018.
Oh,
and I was like, oh shit. Okay, fair play.
Yeah.
I guess that's it. And he's like, talk to you later. And then I call my mom and I'm like, yeah, they just took all my money. Like, I guess I didn't pay my taxes in 2018. And she's like, Massachusetts? And I was like, yeah. She goes, you didn't live in Massachusetts in 2018. I was like, I gotta go. I gotta call this guy back. Oh my God. Did you so I called back and I called. I don't know if it was the same guy or a different guy. Like, I talked to a few separate people because this is an ongoing issue. I need money, and I was like, what's the deal here? We'll transfer you. Everyone was so like so masshole. It was
Yeah.
like I thought
I mean,
maybe
a government gig in Massachusetts, you're gonna get
but
that.
I genuinely appreciate that. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know if it came across well in my video. If people like, I genuinely was like, yes, this is a person. This isn't someone who's like talking like a fucking
or
robot.
like an
this is-
overseas farm,
even
desk
like
farm or
just
whatever.
this is someone who
Yeah.
like is sitting at a desk and is doing other shit, but it's like what and like
Yeah.
this is a fucking person right here.
Yep.
And I call a guy. I honestly, because their accents are so thick, I don't know if it's the same guy or a different guy. Because like I can't imagine many people calling the mass department. Like it's fucking July. Like it's not tax season. Like
they're probably like dust off the phone and pick it up.
And I was like, yeah, it says I didn't pay my taxes in 2018. Like I didn't live there in 2018. And he goes, you didn't live here. Why would you pay taxes then? That's what we're all asking. Like, we're all real
I
curious.
didn't, and you're telling me. Did you ever change your dress?
Yeah, but I don't think it really
you've been
mattered.
you've been in.
I think it's some fucky Barstool stuff.
Well,
Like,
so I was gonna
think-
say, I know.
Like I
no,
think it's goddamn company.
No, it is. It is. It 100% is. I think I cleared it up, but I had this a long time ago where it was like, you live in New York, but your company is a Boston-based thing. But that was like pre all this shit.
Yeah.
So-
like I moved here in 2016.
Like I don't think we have any.
But Penn bought it in 2018, right? No, that was
20.
like Penn bought in,
18?
right? Because it's been 5 years.
But they're not like Massachusetts.
Is that when?
But like that,
Sherman?
but that probably changed something. I don't know. I know it's gonna be a goddamn nightmare to figure out. That's what I fucking
Totally. I am nervous
know.
because like I feel like you're not gonna get this back.
Oh, I'm probably not gonna get it back.
Yeah.
Oh, you were nervous about that? I've accepted that.
We know that part.
I'm just gonna
Like,
wait.
like I thought if it's not fraud, I thought it was gonna just be a mistake, but it's not. It's the government saying take
that
that
money's
shit.
gone. That money's gone. Money's gone.
Hope you're good at the AI TikToks.
That money's yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna catch John. And, ice cream so good. Ice cream so good. I need to pay taxes. I gotta pay my taxes. Taxes so bad.
The message of the story is just fucking be a person. Like I was
What?
It was honestly if I was like I guess there's a world where in theory it would upset me.
Yeah.
But I was so excited. I was like, fuck yes,
yeah.
dude. Fuck yes. We're both fucking pissed off. Let's put this anger together and fix something.
I was gonna say, like, what say me and you get together and get this done before lunch? Huh? You don't want to do this. I don't want to be in it. Let's get this done so it can just be over.
Snip it up, bro.
Oh, that what?
What?
God, wouldn't if I had like 3 wishes, one of my wishes would be like, let's get rid of pleasantries.
Yeah.
Imagine if the whole world, you can't, because you just can't. It just, it's like we make fun of small talk, but then you need small talk because otherwise what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
But imagine if it was just like you could just say to people what or yes, no, or like just get to the
Dude,
it's
like
so great.
because
or even just like the like small talk, like who was I with the other day? Somebody was trying to tell a story, it wasn't landing. And I kind of questioned it. I was like, so wait, what was it? And they go, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I just, it was a story that wasn't making sense, so I pulled the cord. And I was like, love it. Love it. Like, if the whole world could be that way,
Dude, and it's probably because when I talked to Bank of America first when I was trying to report the fraud, like, when that person picked up the phone, I almost snapped my phone in half. Because it was like, hello, John Feitelberg, you're a valued member.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an active duty service member, please ask us to so we can help you out and let you know how the Bank of America supports the military. I'm like, that was just you just did an ad read on me.
Yeah.
I need my money,
You know what else I
motherfucker.
hate? I know they have a script sometimes, and I know these are like calling farms or whatever they call them overseas, where they either read or just say the same thing every time. But that drives me nuts too, where they go like, I understand, Mr. Clancy, and I'm very sorry for that.
Yes.
We can offer you blah, blah, blah. And then I say something else. I'm very sorry, Mr. Clancy, and I understand that it's frustrating. We can offer, and it's like just,
Like, dude,
I
that
am
sucks.
talking to a robot, And then when you get someone who's just like, hang on a second, let me figure this shit out.
Yeah. Like, if
I'm
you-
surprised. Good for it. Like, I thought he was going to go, I don't know. I don't care.
Oh,
Like-
he ended up being
the
like
fact-
incredibly helpful.
Yeah,
Like, he
right.
it was a great like it worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
It was,
He's looking at your info or whatever.
Yeah.
Can tell you exactly what's going on.
I
Don't get me wrong, you fucked. But here's the answer why. Here's the reason.
The like, if you'd been eating a sandwich, just
Yeah.
like, fuck, I'm at my lunch hour. Look at you. Fuck it, I'm coming back. Like, it was perfect. Talk to RA.
Yeah, really. Ari was working on. Yo, speaking of sandwich, you see my tweet yesterday about the guy ordering the sandwich?
No.
Okay. This is a double whammy because it's just stupid in two ways. I was at the shitty corner store, and the guy ordered a sandwich, and he said, "Let me get lettuce, mayo, turkey, and bacon." And the amount of replies that were like, "That's a totally normal sandwich, dude. What are you talking about?" And I was like, "I'm not talking about the fucking ingredients. He ordered all the condiments first."
Oh, I thought you were talking the ingredients.
Really?
Yeah.
Because turkey bacon. It's like a BLT. Who?
Yeah, because in my head just now I was like, that's pretty. I thought.
Who the fuck says lettuce and mayo first?
I used to say, "Can I get a Coke and Jack?" until I was shamed enough.
You're a dickhead.
Yeah,
I mean, that's insane.
I just like don't get me wrong, I was underage at the time, but
let me get cheese with a burger on a It's just, to me, it's like you say the meat, the cheese, or like secondary thing, and then the toppings.
Now that I see what you're saying,
and
you're
then
right,
like on a roll, on a hero. Imagine being like, I need bread with lettuce, mayonnaise on the lettuce, and then add some turkey with cheese. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the part. Start with the part.
Yeah.
You're right.
I thought that was painfully clear, but I don't know. You're a fucking moron too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What can you do?
I am not an intelligent man. I saw something last night on Twitter. I also just saw something on Twitter.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna
X.
Oh, don't.
Don't. Nope.
Replacing bets. It's baseball. There's not much else to do. It's summertime. It's not baseball. It's summer. There is much baseball. Why can't I talk right now? No. It is summer. There is not much to be doing. Hanging out by the beach, hanging out at the bar, watching baseball, drinking beers. Go see Oppenheimer. But go to the Barstool Sportsbook. Download the app, then go to the Barstool Sportsbook. Place your bets. You can ride with all of our sharps here. We have all kinds of special props, all kinds of odds, all the best odds, all the good stuff. It is very easy. It's on your phone. It always says to show you the app on your phone. I think that's very condescending to the viewer. But what an app is it's a tool on your phone that allows you to do things quicker. We have one for the Barstool Sportsbook. You know what they look like. You know how they work. So go click on the app store, click the icon, download this app in particular, and then place bets on it. Go to the App Store, as I said, get the Barstool Sportsbook, ride with all our sharps, all the gamblers, all that stuff. Terms apply, must be 21 plus. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. I saw a tweet yesterday. Oh, I didn't even send myself the link. Whatever. You may have seen this. It's one of my all-time favorite stories. Kristen Bell, does that ring a bell?
Yeah.
Does it ring a bell why she's in the news right now?
Oh, I saw your tweet. That's why.
Bro.
Kristen very cool.
Bell.
I was actually meant to do a 1 minute man on this because it's awesome.
Kristen Bell and Shepard allow their kids to drink alcohol-free beer.
So cool.
If you're wondering how old their kids are, I thought they were like teenagers.
Nope.
They're 10 and 8.
Yep.
The girls, they're both girls. They walk around just slamming NAs. Mm-hmm. And bro, as I was like, what word should I use to describe this? It is fucking rad.
Yep.
That is so rad to have your kids just have a beer fridge.
And before the fucking assholes, it's the 0%. It's 0. It's not the 0.05 or whatever. It's 0% alcohol. They check that every time. Now, what's gangster is that they do it at restaurants. like, yo, I mean,
what do you do? I'll do a Heineken 0. She got a Bud 0. I'll take an Athletic.
Like, I am all for it, but you also can't be surprised when people go around town going, Kristen Bell is a fucking wild mother. Like, when did your dad let you swig his beers?
Not that, no? Not like as a young, like my uncle did a time or two.
How young do you think you were for your first sip of beer?
Pretty young, but it wasn't for my dad.
Okay.
I think
But,
I think the first time
when
I had a
somebody
beer with
gave
my
you-
dad where he was like, "Here you go."
Uh-huh.
Well, like I think it was in college. I think it was my freshman year of college.
Yeah, I don't even know if I've done that to this day. But I feel like I would guess like 5th grade or something like that. Like I can picture like swigging I had a little bit of champagne, I think at a New Year's once, but I can picture swigging like a cold beer and being like, "Ugh, I don't know about this," but I was like young. But I never had a whole one.
Yeah.
That's what's weird is like I don't think beer applies to I don't think it appeals to kids.
It appeals to the Shepards. Dude.
Well,
Bro,
I mean,
imagine you're going to your friend's house. You're already intimidated as hell because their parents are famous movie stars, and they're
everyone's
like,
walking around drinking beers.
"Sam, you want a beer?" That's nuts. Kids just walk around the house crushing NAs.
And did they have a bunch?
Like
You walk down because when you're a kid, we would drink like 11 sodas. You have like 4 bottles of Jolt. You have a 3-liter. Like if you go down in like the playroom at the Shepard household, they're just cans of non-alcoholic beer everywhere. They're kicking them, walking.
Get me
through.
another. Get me another. Dude, imagine growing up to the fucking like you're like. I'm sure it's not to this extent, but like
I'm sure
if you're just getting them in your lunchbox, it's like yeah, I don't know. That's what Samantha. I don't know what the kids are named, but
It's
that's
so
what
great.
Samantha drinks. Samantha likes a nice Heineken Zero with her peanut butter and jelly. Like,
Yeah. That's what I mean though. Like everything in kids' world is like juice and like sweet and tasty. Can't imagine like a bitter beer being like, "Thanks, Mom."
yeah.
I mean, that's some wild shit.
This helps the bread, lettuce, mayo, turkey, and bacon sandwich go down.
Yo, let me say this. You better pray everything goes okay. Because if you have, like, alcoholic kids and you were doing this, that sucks.
Yeah, but Dax is an alcoholic. You know, that's my genes.
I know, but,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, I guess you can just blame him. But all the more reason to be like, maybe we shouldn't. Because if all of a sudden it's like, oh, I got like 5 DUIs and I killed a guy with my car and I've been, drinking beer, if you will, since I was 7.
I think there's an argument to me.
The old like, gets you ready. Yeah,
Europeans,
yeah.
right?
Prepares you.
I don't know. I feel like Europeans binge drink. It's like I was taught all
Well,
the time.
and of course, if you read the full thing, she says, I talk to my kids about drugs and the fact that their dad's an addict and he's in recovery. We talk about sex. So she's just got one of those households. I don't know what to do on that front. I always thought I was going to be pretty like, I'm going to treat my kids like, people. And like, I'm not going to lock my daughter up and I want to like talk to them pretty openly. And now they're still too young to do all that. So I'm not there yet. But I'm like, ooh, boy, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this.
Yeah.
Like, that is hard,
The
man.
awkward conversations are always going to suck.
Yeah,
Even-
but I hate every awkward conversation.
Right. That's what,
And why in the world did I think I was going to be good at or ready to have the most awkward ones with your daughter, with your kid? Like,
I think there's something
do
to
you
that
know?
where like when parents are like, I want you to come with me to everything. I don't go to my parents with everything. Only when the government steals my money. Well, there's plenty of issues. I think there's something to that. Like that's some you shit.
I
You
wanna-
deal with that.
I want to give a list of, like, these are things for your aunt and uncle. Go there. These are things you can just tell your brother and you two figure it out. These are things you tell your mother. These are things you tell your father. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if it falls out that scope, I don't want to hear it.
Use your fucking brain. Like that.
But, like,
You know what?
bro.
I've come around on this. I think you shouldn't I want to be able to come to me with everything. Do not have that relationship. That's a weird relationship.
I do not like parents that are friends with their kids that like,
Yeah.
make sex jokes and just jokes in general and like hang out all the time. It's like
I don't have a single person in my life where I'd say you can come to me with anything.
anything
Right.
anything and everything. No. Like I think it's I almost want. It's funny. I always tell I'm always like, Shay, you're always gonna love me, right? And she's like, of course. Like, why are you asking that? And I was like, because there's gonna come a time when you're older and you're gonna be like, I hate my dad and like I don't want to hang out with him. He's a loser. And she's like, no, that would never happen. I'm like, yes, it's gonna. It's gonna. And I'm pretty sure at this point she's like, you're fucking weird, dude. I don't know why you think that, but I like, bro, do you know how hard it would be to impart some of the knowledge and things that I've gone through and and had done to Keegan about like female relationships. Like, I can't. At what age can I tell him about some of these fucking things that have happened? You know what I mean? Like, how the fuck are we gonna tell our sons what our experience was? And like, hey, what you got to do is you got to watch out for the fucking the people who are like CIA spies.
Zap. It's called text now.
Right. Like, how are we gonna do that? I don't want to like.
You don't want to watch out for that one.
Yeah, I don't want to tell Keegan, like, here's the thing. Always make sure that they're not logged into your Apple ID, because then they have everything. Because then they have everything, Keegan. It doesn't matter if you change your passwords. They have everything. You know? Like, sometimes you're going to want to sweep your apartment to see if you're bugged, Keegan. And when that happens, trust me, it's the Apple ID. Like, these are things I should not be telling like a 14-year-old boy. You know, it should be like, you're going to have feelings for a girl and you should treat her really well, but don't ever let her have your phone.
But I think there's something to that too, where like I think let him learn a lesson on his own. The one of the things I always reference, and I think it was a formative moment in my life, was I was in the bathroom one day. I was probably like 16 years old, and I was talking on the phone to a friend about a party we'd been to, and I was like, "Oh, we got so fucked up, blah blah blah."
At home, this was?
Yeah. And just my mom happened to be on the other side of the door, like putting away laundry or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I came out, and she was just standing in the doorway. She's like, "You were at a party this weekend?" And I stopped saying things out loud ever.
Yeah, like ever again. So you never asked a question in school ever again? You never spoke out loud ever again when your mom was there?
Just, unless you know everyone's listening.
Yeah. Then we say everything.
Assume everyone's going to hear everything.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a crazy neurotic way to live, but it's super
awful.
Accurate. You know?
I haven't been relaxed
ever
in 20 years.
Bro, I have not been relaxed in so long.
You know, the I think I've talked about this too. Like sometimes you'll see a tweet where it's like, whoever's reading this, and it speaks to a large swath of people because they go viral for a reason. But every time I'm like, oh yeah. Or it's like, whoever's reading this, relax your shoulders, get your tongue off the roof of your mouth. I'm like, yeah, okay.
I'm doing all those things. That is, yeah, it's gonna get weird for sure as we get on this road. But.
I think this is a fair segue. The viral story of former Kentucky co-ed goes viral for celebrating mugshot portfolio on Instagram account. Do you know this woman?
No, but I consider my interest peaked.
Bro.
As well as my penis.
I read this article. I'm so embarrassed about this because, like, everything we just said. And some lessons aren't learned. Sometimes you stop talking out loud. Some lessons, it seems like you might never learn.
Yeah. I don't know what you're going to say, but that's very funny. Seems like we can. This ship has sailed. I'm pretty rest assured I'm always going to do this one.
Like, consciously and logically, I know bad, but I still go, but it's colorful.
Good, yeah.
And so I'm reading this article, and I'm going to tell you what was in my head the whole time as I read it.
Oh, boy.
It says, this former Kentucky co-ed was summa cum laude. A Bluegrass State bad girl has gone viral with a medley of 11 mugshots and the crimes that accompanied them after the images were posted on Instagram. Rayanna Bell Brock has been busted for everything from shoplifting to terrorism and appears to have enjoyed many of her misadventures, judging from the booking images. Click read more. With the girl next door looks and joyous grin, she's ear to ear in every mugshot. Brock vaulted to internet fame last week after the images were featured in a popular Instagram account. The Chronicle of Chaos appeared on the popular Instagram account Mugshotty, which posts.
Oh, I love Mugshotty. I know Mugshotty.
Do you?
Yeah.
Which posts notable portraits from across the nation.
Yeah.
The former Eastern Kentucky student, who goes by the name the Queen of Chaos 23 on TikTok, began collecting the shots back in 2018 with a theft bust when she was only 18.
Queen of Chaos.
Brock's most
this
recent
chick
image.
Can put me on a leash and walk me around the joint. Holy moly!
Brock's most recent image shows her smiling widely in an orange jumpsuit in 2020 after being collared for terroristic threatening and stalking.
What kind of?
We'll let that one sit in the air.
Bro, what kind of ring? Oval shape, square shape? What you want, babe?
She appeared particularly proud of one bust in Stanford, Kentucky, where she was arrested for stealing a car, crashing it, and then going back to her dorm.
Bro, she is smiling.
This is one of my
first day of
favorites.
school, like,
This is one of my favorites, she remarks in the comment section of that one. Brock's fan base thirsts for more with the release of each image.
gangster. White teeth, though.
We need a fucking documentary on this Big Shorty. One commenter. Others were more flippant, calling for Brock to seek help and to avoid an unfortunate end. The chick is crying for help. She's gonna kill herself any day.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
now wait, has she killed anyone?
No.
Has she hurt anyone?
I don't think so.
Maimed anybody?
Maybe. Sadly, Brock
Obviously,
informs her
she
fans.
has emotionally tortured so many men. That is for certain. But as long as she is not hurting people physically, I'm so down with this chick.
The one woman crime waves. Other offenses include
One woman crime wave. This chick sounds like she's in the comic books. So the Queen of Chaos had a one-woman crime wave until Captain Marvel had to stop her.
They include wanton endangerment of a police officer, stealing a firearm, and drug offenses. I like to think she grabbed the cop's gun right off his belt. Motherfucker! The Queen of Chaos is here!
Bro,
Couple pop shots.
I'm picturing like the cops in Superbad, just like fat and slow, being like, "She got my gun, Johnson! She got my gun!" She's cocking it.
Bro, in Eastern Kentucky, you.
Oh
But
man.
I was reading that article
But
last
wait,
night.
why is she like? She should be like in jail after so many things. No, does she have like she's fucking
What was the
connections.
terrorism one? I need to know that.
That
It was terroristic threats and stalking.
Oh.
again. Who amongst us? Who amongst us?
but-
I want to marry her, but I also want to get in contact with her ex-boyfriends. The let's probably 1, 2, and she's probably got like 4 or 5 that she's terrorized. Start the official support group. We'll be the founding fathers. We'll be called the Victims of Chaos, the VOC, and we will begin. And she will be like our inspiration.
Dude,
God damn.
as I was reading it, I can logically know one thing, but just the body reacts the way it reacts. And
The heart wants what the heart wants, John.
the only thing echoing in my head was, "Where is she?" I just had Christian Bale, like literally every line is like terroristic. Just, "Where is she?" Bring her to me.
Yo,
I'm fucked, man. I'm fucked. Help me.
you are.
Somebody help me. This is a genuine plead for help. Somebody fix me. I'm kind of crying. I don't want to be this way.
Bro.
Oh, God.
I'll tell you though, you make
Where is she?
dude, you make me feel good though about myself, because there are definitely times where I'm like, man, it seems like John, has kind of like grown up and is like avoiding certain things and being like, good, and sometimes I have some thoughts and I feel like, and then I'll hear this, I'm like, okay, we're still fucked. As long as we're both still fucked. Okay.
If it makes you feel any better, I dated a guy who got arrested 5 times. Remember?
Yeah. You were in love. She's
And I was
in love
like-
with a felon.
Yeah. And I thought it was hot. So.
That definitely is.
Guy crime. I think you might be worse than us, because guy crime
crime's
is
kinda real.
It was 2 DUIs too.
Yeah, right. He was he was a piece of shit.
2 DUIs. That's boy crime.
But this is, she has a lot of DUIs. She has DUIs though.
Huh?
She has a lot of DUIs. Right?
Yeah, but dude, you get as many DUIs as you want, as long as you got a terroristic threats on the rap
Wait,
sheet.
wait. Jackie has a lot of DUIs?
No.
Okay, the way you were pointing on camera, I just want to clarify
her
that.
guy or whatever. But here's the thing.
Nick will come in with a comment where it's like, what? No. Wait, we used to talk about fucking kids? What?
She, when girls get like terroristic threats, you're like, Well, I mean, that's just the letter of the law.
Oh,
she wasn't really gonna. Come on, how was she gonna commit terrorism? You know, like and like you said, like threatening a police officer with a gun with a girl. It's like, come on, that's cute.
Kinda funny.
That's cute. Look, she said it with a smile. She's got a nice smile.
The smile. It's a nice smile.
She's got great teeth. They're actually almost a little too long. They're kind of like piano keys there. But the other ones are fucking banging, dude. She's got like Lindsay Lohan-esque.
Yeah.
To go like 12 for 12, it's crazy. Like, you have a couple good mugshots, but usually there's a life ruiner mixed in there. She's cheesing for all.
Going with terroristic threats and being like
wanton danger of a police officer.
That's also some white girl shit where you're like, I'm gonna beat this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're like, I'm back out on the streets by fucking Friday.
Yeah.
God damn.
Don't even worry. I won't need a meal. I'll be out of here before I'm hungry.
God damn.
All right, do a voice.
But you know what is funny? Mug Shorty is funny. Like I've DM'd with him or her. I think it's a dude. I would imagine.
Bro, you're like fucking what's her name, Brittany Schmidt. You're always talking to somebody.
I'm always working the game.
You got the AI DM. You got the fucking.
I think wait, what's the AI DM?
That thing. Whatever that thing is.
Oh yeah. My moonwalkers. Mug Shorty. How did Mug Shorty? I think he might have. I followed.
Excuse me.
And we had like a tip of the cap. He was like, "Thanks for the follow. I'm a fan of your shit, fan of your work." And I was like, "And you, my good man."
You, sir.
Yeah, like just a couple of guys in the industry, You sling your smut, I sling mine, and we kind of intertwix along the way, I mean, like Mug Shorty, if this existed when we were blogging, I mean, it does, but like in our blog heyday, would have been
smoking gun.
It would have been a fucking bookmark.
Yeah, dude. Actually, I sent the picture. We were all watching something the other night, and
do you know the Mugshot Queen? I mean, this is the new one.
I just met her.
But prior to, unless we're talking about the same, maybe it's the same girl, but he called her the Mugshot Queen, and that's what made me like follow and then DM, and I was like, the Mugshot Queen is amazing. And
sorry to interrupt. I sent a picture of the comedy thing we were all watching the other night to the group.
Yeah.
Did you notice my tabs? Not tabs, but like it's like your, like your. I guess they're your not recently viewed your bookmarks.
Yeah. And
that's displayed, and it is from like I don't know how they're still around. It's from, I don't know, 2014 probably. Uprocks, Fark, Sports Grid, Not the Onion, BuzzFeed, Deadspin, Gawker, Delisted, Masshole,
Old School,
Daily Mail, Next Impulse, Big Lead, Smoking Gun, and Pro Bible.
that was it right there. Let me see if I can find the Mugshot Queen real quick, because it's not her. Because I just saw someone comment about the new girl. Will this dethrone the Mugshot Queen? Queen of Mugshots. Fuck. This girl had like so many. There are so many pretty girls who get arrested. Let me tell you that much. A lot of pretty criminals.
That is true. Most criminals, and by that I mean men, are ugly men. At least in the mugshots I see. Yeah, I can only think of like one hot mugshot. That dude with the eyes.
Yeah, but ain't it? He was so hot, and only
he was so hot that Louis Vuitton himself was like, I'm breaking this guy out.
Yeah, like he got a fucking job being. Man, I wish I could find her, but I said, we were just talking about the account. I was like, I'm a fan of your account as much as one can be a fan of a account just completely devoid of any like value or completely devoid of God. This is one of the worst things on the internet. Just like celebrating women who do horrible things because they're pretty. But go see Barbie.
You can find Jesus. Okay, let's do one voicemail.
What's up, guys? I feel like people haven't been doing the fun facts, and I miss them, so I'm going to bring it
Great
back.
point.
Did you know that there is a new law in Michigan where you absolutely cannot touch your phone at all while driving, including at stoplights? So that means I am fully breaking the law right now. Anyways, on a completely unrelated note, would you rather never be able to dry yourself off again, and you always have to air dry? So no towels, no fans, no nothing. You just have to air dry. or that you have x-ray vision that's able to see through people's clothes, but you can never, ever, ever turn it off.
This is super easy. First of all, I don't appreciate her breaking the law. I think that law should be expanded to if you are in public, you cannot be on your phone. I think it is.
Did you say that you don't appreciate her breaking the law after you talked about how
Wait.
Yeah, but I was like, come on, guy, keep that stuff in the bedroom. But the
I think being in your car is not in public.
that's a fair argument. And I'm gonna reject it anyway.
I think you can do a bunch of things in your car that you can't do in public.
Yeah, no, you're
You
right.
know?
You're right.
So I think as long as you don't crash, you should be able to be on your phone. Not being at a red light is kind of crazy.
But yes,
if I got like a ticket for that, it would be terroristic threats for sure.
But it
I'd go
happens
nuts.
all the time. That one extra second, and that infuriates me more than anything.
At the red light,
Because they're looking at their phone. When it's
Yeah.
like, just go.
Yeah.
Like when it turned green, and there's always like you gotta give the little honk a lot more often these days.
Yeah. No, that is true.
And there is the people walking on their phone, and you gotta avoid them. People, we just said this actually on a podcast. I forget who we were talking to, but like you get off the subway, people are right on their phone. You get to the top of the stairs, they're right on their phone.
Mm-hmm.
Just put it in your fucking pocket until you get where you're going. You shouldn't be allowed to be on your phone at all in public ever. I'm gonna keep. I know I'm very over the top with it, and I don't care.
You sound old and out of touch.
That's not the worst it'll get. But that's my take on the first part.
Now, what was the question?
Phone in public.
What? I'm trying to find my fun facts.
It is. Would you rather be soaking wet, unable to dry yourself forever, or?
That's already what you do.
Oh yeah, we were gonna get there.
Yeah.
And or you can see through people's clothes, but you can never turn that off. You can always just see people naked.
Just see people naked.
Let me tell you what. My side of the fence. It's not so bad.
Yes, it is.
No, dude.
It's so awful.
It's not.
The other day I was trying to put my pants on and I had wet feet and they were like getting caught on the fucking pants because they were wet. And I was like, this is so terrible. And John just does this willingly every day.
Bro, I did it just the other day. Exactly that. Where I stepped. This is crazy. Where I stepped on my bath mat in my socks. And I was like, oh, I was that wet.
Yeah.
And then I just put my other foot on
that's
it.
disgusting. No, let me tell you something. You're disgusting.
Yeah.
No. Stop. There's something severely wrong with you. And I think it's all connected. I think all this is connected.
Oh,
I don't know how or why.
agreed.
And out of all your symptoms and all the things that it manifests as, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
To be able to step, because it's just such a goddamn universal. Everyone in the world that does that would be like, oh God, I gotta change my socks. And the fact that you don't feel that, if it wasn't so hacky and played out to say like you're a serial killer, I would be like, you're gonna fucking mutilate animals next. If you can just step on a puddle in your bathroom in socks and not be like, you're sick.
It went one step. I went, oh, that's soaking wet.
And you put the other foot.
Two
I mean,
steps.
that is
Like a
insane.
full it registered, and I went, who gives a shit? You don't deserve dry socks.
I
John.
can't even.
Who the fuck do you think you are
Yo.
that you think you should walk outside today in dry socks?
Yo, if you think you have self-esteem issues, just ask yourself if you have such low self-esteem you don't deserve dry socks. That is pathetic.
it's so
That's
bad.
a level of pathetic. It's so sad.
It is, but like, I have changed a little bit. I've tweaked one little thing where I don't get dressed sopping wet anymore, but I do.
That was a dead ass. If I didn't laugh right there, you would have just kept talking. That's insane. I don't dress sopping
Drop the
anymore.
clip of me going, I don't want to be like this. And, it is. So I always I get out and I pat myself. And I pat myself and I just throw my dry towel back on over my shower. Mm-hmm. And I used to put clothes on right then and there. Boom, clothes on.
And it would just like, get like spots of wet.
Oh, the undercarriage would be a mess. But
I feel like you're lucky. Like I feel like mold and bacteria should grow on your body.
I should have bacteria.
Yeah.
I should have like barnacles.
Yep. Oh, that's making my ears itch. That imagery of you being so disgusting, you have
barnacles. I carry my lunch with me all the time.
Dude.
I can't believe these guys didn't like Barbie.
The great Mickey Mouse voice. That's highbrow humor.
But what was I gonna say? But what I do, what my neighbors probably would wish I went back to that me. But now this is more disgusting. I just eat lunch naked before I come in. Like I'll shower, and then
It's so funny that you also gloss over that it's lunch before you come into work.
It's a little early lunch. It's like 11 a.m., but it's lunch, and
You sit on the couch wet?
No. Bro, today
you probably get dirty again.
I was on the phone.
What I mean? Like the couch is gross and you're wet. It like sticks to you. Your couch is disgusting.
Oh, it's awful. It's so bad.
Like when was the last time you cleaned your couch? Never. Yeah. Like have you ever thought about cleaning it or getting under the cushions or like nothing. So you sit. It's like sitting on the ground wet.
Why are you just glossing over that? Who cleans their couch? Clean my couch, bro. What are you talking about? I've never heard that sentence in my life. Oh no, clean the ceiling next. What are you talking? What do you mean, clean my couch, bro?
Like, have you ever even gone into the took the cushions out?
I've lost the remote a time or two.
Yeah, like isn't it filled with crumbs?
Of course it is. It's a couch.
That's where the crumbs belong. What am I gonna clean my ceiling next?
Motherfucker said to my face, clean the couch. Yeah, right.
Like, okay, how about this? If you spill something on your couch, would you clean it or you just let it dry and that's it?
I mostly drink water.
Okay.
So
like that. What do you think would
there's
happen?
surely some red wine stains.
Yeah,
on it.
like would you flip the
chocolate?
cushions?
I found a
chocolate.
I'm glad you brought this up. I found, bro, the other day I sat sitting on the couch and I dropped a mango right here and I went to the side. There's just this massive chocolate stain. I was like, how the fuck did that get?
Ate the mango, ate the chocolate.
I was like, how the hell did
that
chocolate get over my shoulder and melt? Like that's crazy.
And you just left it there.
Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah.
I mean, I scraped. I did the fingernail.
And you ate it.
It was good. We're all good.
Dude, clean my couch.
This guy says clean the couch. You're talking crazy sometimes on this show. But that is all to say that yes, I am
deranged.
Deranged.
You are deranged. You're demented. like it's all fun and games, but you're literally demented. And it's in your romantic life, in your professional life, in your everyday life, in your hygiene. You're demented, bro. Thank God, truly, I'm not kidding. Thank God you aren't a violent guy. Because I think you actually would kill people. I think you would be dominant. Like all of your things, they just get channeled into humor, and you're just lazy, and you like TV. But if you were just I need to get this energy out, I think you might kill people.
Yeah.
The God bless. I guess thank God that He made you like this instead of like that, because I think you would be massacring people.
Yeah. It was one it could go one way or the other. Yeah. Luckily, I'm right here.
Yep.
an inch that way. You like what was it, Charlie Conway?
Butterfly
Like
effect.
quarter inch the other way, you'd have missed the net.
Yep.
I went quarter
so close,
inch.
you would have missed the fucking net.
We got hit the post with me.
It's ding. You are just. You're a post shot.
I'm the human version to be at the post. Could have been worse, but it's not great.
Bro, that's awesome. The personification of hit the post. So good. So good. We'll wrap up here. So now we're going into Kelly?
Real quick, another response from The Rock.
Didn't see it till now. HD cutout is funny as shit. Dwayne The Rock Johnson replying. Oh, to our video.
To the video.
Oh, awesome. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, listen, The Rock is basically a guest now. We get two replies on Twitter equals one guest appearance. So The Rock is basically now a friend of the program, basically a third co-host.
That's such a funny picture.
It is so good. I mean, he looks like he's 10 feet taller than him. It's so good, man.
KFC, Feits, gang, hot dogs on the grill. Who wants spicy mustard? A couple older questions for you here. Feits, you ever sit on the bag of peas and jerk off, see if it hit the ceiling? Have you guys had any contact with the Mexican barber who was in the Navy? You guys had on the show like 10 years ago.
Bastardo?
And KFC, where's PR Puff Daddy's kid? I mean, he paid $0.25 a day for him for
Prasad.
10 years, 20 years. I don't know how long. Just to not know where he is. That's wild. And I actually have an answer to one of your older questions. It's $207,006, and I would put my baby in a microwave for 30 seconds.
I mean, that's like the Mount Rushmore right there of old KFC radio questions. Who was the Mexican barber from the service?
I don't know. Not Bastardo. Bastardo was a pussy shaver.
Right. I'm having visions though.
This is crazy, like how long we talked about dumb shit. Is like I don't even know what half this stuff's about.
I know.
I know what the peas is about because I got a buddy who told me if you snuck
right, and you were supposed to do that and report back.
Never did it. Just like I'll figure it out. I'll get to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty easy.
I'm
to
waiting
pull
for
off.
the right time.
Sir,
I should have done it the other night to fucking mugshot shouting and.
I don't think you need the peas.
We would have been like inconclusive.
Yeah. We need a control experiment. I'm maybe having a vision of a live show. Barber?
No, Bastardo the Barber was at a live
Was
show.
live, yeah. Shit, this guy stumped us on our own show.
Yeah. I've often thought that if you asked me KFC Radio,
Totally. We would get stumped 9 out of 10 times because when you listen to a show, you remember it's like the Chris Farley thing. Like, remember that time? And the people who do it are like, no. But to them, that was the funniest thing they've ever seen, or the one moment that they were out at the show, or like you remember more than the people do.
I suppress most of the stuff I said in the show. I don't want to remember.
Thank God. It's also like if we had any sort of conscience or whatever, worried about saying things, you can't do the podcast if you have those sort of thoughts. Om Prasad, I will always maintain was a total scam. I think let me text him. I'll ask. Om Prasad was a guy that my brother decided to sponsor, like an Indian kid. And it got to the point that it was like, usually those things are like 65 cents a day can fund like a whole village. And he was paying like $25 a month or something crazy like that. And then all of a sudden, they just swapped kids. Om Prasad was no more. And he got like a letter from a different dude being like, I'm not Om Prasad, I'm this guy, but like, thanks so much for your donation. Now you own me. And it was like and then we called. I remember we called on speakerphone, like the customer service for the kid renting company. And we were kind of like, we'd like an update on Om Prasad. And they were like, it got testy. I remember being like, we love Om Prasad and we're not hearing from him anymore. Like, I want assurance that he's like safe. And they were kind of like, we don't do that. And I was playing into it, but I'm pretty sure we like fought with them over the phone. meanwhile, the whole time I'm going, this guy isn't even Indian. He's a Puerto Rican guy who's like 35 years old around the corner from you in a chop shop in Brooklyn who's running a scam on your ass. Because we did, at one point, Om Prasad did get like old. I was like, this is a grown man. And he had a beard at one point, like a 5 o'clock shadow, and he was still funding his food.
Provide you with like what your like almost like a itemized list of like what it went to that week. And it was like condoms,
right. Malt liquor, a bottle of whiskey. Yeah, that one. That dude's either rich from scamming people, dead, or
from scamming people,
or or he's still like just collecting, like $25 a month from my brother. I don't know. And what was the last one? Put the baby in the microwave. You got to jerk off. Where's Om Prasad? Yeah, I mean that's
our life in a nutshell,
dude. I really
and thus is our legacy.
It's tough. It's like because we're so bad at self promotion and so bad about talking about ourselves. It kind of gets like lost in the sauce. But like we have done it all. We've had every conversation, every answer the internet type question. Like if you're, I love when people come to me and they go, "Oh, I got you. I got one. Would you rather give up blowjobs or cheese?" And I'm like, bro, please. Literally day one. I've written a thesis on this in the amount of times I've discussed it. We've had every conversation there is to have. Yeah. Like that guy, in 1989, said all the things that can ever be invented have already been invented.
Yeah.
I'm like, there are no more topics to talk about. They are all on KFC Radio. If you like this sort of shit, this sort of bullshit banter, we've done every single fucking one of them. And the ones that we forget, like some of the afterthoughts, are probably like some of the funniest fucking things out there. But we're so bad about promoting it and finding it and keeping it and all that shit. But man, there is a backlog that is, if you like new episodes, they're the same.
Yeah.
They're probably better because we're crazier and younger and stupider. But if you like it, there's 1,000 more to go listen to. So
I was thinking of the funniest ways you kill yourself, and this one came to mind. What I would do is I would just rip roaring blackout drunk on a beach. And I'm thinking of beach with a lot of sharks. This will make sense in just a minute. So what I would do is let's say South Africa. Get blackout drunk on the beach in South Africa. Take a Brompton cocktail. Polish that off when you're ready to march into the ocean. However, before you march into the ocean, cover yourself in chum. Go ahead and chum yourself all up. And write "chum pig" on your chest. After you do that, you just march right into the ocean. Just consciousness just fades away. Once you're done with that, just right into the sea. You're gonna black out and lose consciousness before you know it. Probably drown and then have the sharks go ahead and eat you up. Anyway, my question is, what's the funniest way you can kill yourself? Eva?
The chum pig. I don't know if you're going to black out, by the way. I think you're going to get ripped to shreds by sharks, and it's going to suck.
Bro, as someone who's made chum before, not a fun way to go.
Yeah, that.
And by made chum, I mean there's like a little grinder on a boat, and you kind of just put fish in and you fucking grind it up. But it is not a fun thing to do. Fishing is barbaric, bro.
Let me tell you something. I don't know, the barbaric thing, catch and release. I don't care. I'm not going to get into all that.
Shark fishing. I've only done shark fishing.
Just it's just such a production.
It's
like one of my favorite stories ever was when my dad finally got the invite from my mom's dad to go fishing with him once, and they got out on the Sound or wherever they went, and they just cracked a beer and turned on the radio, and they were just chilling. It was like, "Are we gonna fish?" And they were like, "We don't actually give a fuck about fishing," and that I get. And then I also even get you go to certain spots where there's a lot of fish and you just drop your line and you catch, maybe eat it. I don't know, whatever, just casual. But deep sea or big game fishing, I know guys who will go down to the Keys and they're they're fucking reeling in like a 400-pound marlin, and it's like the greatest thing of their life, and they gotta fucking stab it and pull it, and they fight it in their hands, and it's like old man of the sea shit. I'm just like, yo, I am good with that.
Dude, I've had friends in
Like,
Newport.
You can't script something. Like, imagine if I was like on the couch chilling watching TV, and someone was like, "You want to go do something?" I'm like, "What is it?" They're like, "We're gonna go fight the ocean, fight the fish, and bring like all for to be able to say we pulled it onto a boat." Nope, no.
I have had friends in Newport, and it's happened on separate many occasions. We're like, because I got buddies who'll go like Atlantic deep sea fishing and stuff like that. And we'll be all getting fucked up, and they'll be out with us, but they'll be kind of keeping it calm because they got to go leave in the morning. And
Yeah, that's the other thing. I know
they
guys
leave at like 3 a.m.
Yeah, I know guys who like even when I was younger, my cousin who like when you're a teenager, you sleep till like 1 p.m. every day. Like we were like, you know, he was like the sleepy head of the group. He would get up at like, you know, do night fishing, get up at like 2 a.m.
Yeah,
Like, they plan their whole lives around it.
But we've had like friends get like fucked up and just wake up in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Because they'd be like, "Oh, I'll come," and then they fucking like sleep their ride out there.
Like, no,
dude, those are the best days because they would just like fucking send them videos the whole time of us drinking again the next day, and they're like stuck on a boat in the middle of nowhere. Like it fucking sucks. Man.
Yo, yeah, and you're hungover,
Right.
you're seasick, you're
Like-
stuck like 20 miles from the.
Oh, you're forever away,
Yeah.
literally kidnapped on a boat.
And also, yeah, like it's not like the fellas can just drop you off.
Right.
You're you know, you
You're there.
decided to go, you're there for the day.
It's like when Nate got on the bus with OAR and like woke up in like North Carolina.
Yeah,
like,
we
what the?
don't-
Am I in America?
At least that's still on land. My brother-in-law has caught like I think it was a 450-pound tuna, and he like cried tears of joy. He was like, "This is a maybe once in a lifetime thing. You could be like a fisherman your whole life, and like you might just not run into a fish this big," and like. You know, it was like it's truly the greatest moment of his life. And I the one thing I do fuck with the fisherman aesthetic. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
To be like the guy, like the lifelong fisherman. You live on the boats, you live on the docks. You know,
But you stink. Of
you do
fish.
stink.
It
You
gets
do
in your
stink.
bones.
and you're gross.
Yeah.
But it's like a manly sort of gross. You know, it's kind of like girls will still fuck you and men respect you.
Yeah,
You
it's
know
like
what I mean?
when Elaine dated Putty.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, a guy who's covered in grease and good with his hands. Yeah, how disgusting. Right.
There's something about that. And yeah, you're like, you know, you're going to die of skin cancer, right? We know that. Like, you'll probably, you know, die of alcoholism, maybe a weird, you know, murder or a suicide on a boat or something. So there's always this weird shit going on at sea. That is like the last place I feel like you can get away with some shit is like out on the open waters. I feel like shit goes down on
International, baby.
Yeah.
Implication.
You know what people implication? Christopher Walken being on that boat murder. Like nobody talks about that.
What was it?
It's Christopher Walken and another famous actor. Do like boat murder mystery.
It's awesome watching Pav's Google. How you just throwing Christopher
Walken.
Walken?
Oh, to add to the Google search? Is that what you're gonna say?
Christopher W. Enter, then go back
Back
to
up.
space. So you'd have to type. In
I have done that before.
All right.
Tap to the right and it does it. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. If you hit the arrow, right? Yeah. But I have done what he's doing, so I'll give him a little bit of a
My
pass.
finger's already there by enter, so I'm gonna tap. Go,
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So it's Christopher Walken and another dude.
Wait, Natalie Wood. Why do I know that name?
Because I think it was like a famous like.
Oh,
she's
it's
dead.
it's not just like Chris Walken was on a boat with a murder. Like it's
So it was Natalie Wood, her husband, and Christopher Walken, and she disappeared, and there's some very shady details, and there was no police. It was like out in the fucking middle of the ocean. Her family is like, there's no way that like. I can't remember if the story. She was asleep on board the yacht when the 3-time Oscar winner met her, and in a watery grave. Like, it was just like super super shady and mysterious, and like his story didn't add up. Like how she died. I think there were some details that were not adding up, and like Christopher Walken was just there, and he just knows what happened, and just like doesn't talk about it.
yeah, he talks funny. So,
But yeah, he does that little thing. So it's like,
can we acknowledge for a second my stupidity, where you brought up a news story that is famous, And then I read a name and it went, why do I
How
know
do I know
that
her name? No, but I know what you mean.
I
Like,
recognize that. Where do I know that name from?
But my
is it the
point-
famous story we're discussing?
My point is that it's not that famous where it's like, you know the name John Benet Ramsey. You know the name.
Yeah.
This probably should be up there considering like Christopher Walken is a part of it. And he's a very, very famous actor who people love. And it's like, he just said I was asleep through the whole thing. Two guys, one
got stuck on a boat. They got your friends like, we'll go fishing. I'm like, I'll come. Fuck it. 3 a.m. you wake up.
I'll tell you this right now. 2 guys, 1 girl on a boat. Already, it's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's already strange. Like if you're just a girl who's like, yeah, I'll get on the boat with you too. I mean, the implication. Like it is that's not a good idea. Always stay on the earth. If you're a girl, stay grounded to the crust of the earth before you go out there with 2 guys. Funniest way to die.
Funniest way to kill yourself.
I would probably buy a ticket to the Barbie movie and I'd blow my head off in front of the screen. I'd say, "This is for the patriarchy!" And I would want all my blood to cover the screen so that it's no longer pink, it's red. That's what I would do. That would be funny.
That would be funny.
Maybe I would do it with a bomb and I would say, "Oppenheimer's back!" Boom! And I would take some girls with me.
Oppenheimer's dope.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer's real.
Oppenheimer's top 5 movie of all time.
Yeah, you know, I like to reference the scene in Dahmer when Jeffrey Dahmer's playing with the fish, and you can tell that he's starting to realize, like, oh, this is gonna be a problem for me. Like when he's playing with the flesh and it's like turning him on.
Yeah, he's like, I like
and
this.
And he's like, this is not gonna go good. Like that's how I felt like an hour and a half into Oppenheimer, where I like liked it so much, I was like, this is gonna be a problem.
I was having like in like the least possible, in the furthest thing from being a theoretical scientist. They're developing an atomic bomb. And like what we're trying to build in the world of comedy, like those could not be more opposite things. But just like watching that dude operate and be like so into it, and be like my brain is like so fucked up, and I'm just doing this one thing. Like that movie had me like my own mind racing about my own life. Thing.
Is that you watched Dr. J. Robert Oppenheimer and you're like, I get it.
Yeah. No, it was more like I don't know.
I'm trying to put together a comedy network, so
no. What was worse? I'll tell you what's worse is I was like, I want that. I want to be that way. I would love to have like such a good brain at what I want to do that people are like, oh, like I mean the scene where he gives away his baby, and the guy's just like, bro,
I got that one.
When he's like, yo, I'm just a piece of shit. And the guy's like, it's all good, dude. We get it. Like, that had me being like, yes, give me that. Yeah, put me in that.
The other funny thing, which you and I kind of talked about a little bit already today, I thought watching Oppenheimer was, and I want to preface this with stuff. I understand in the time why it was bad.
This is a great conversation me and John had.
I want this conversation like 9 a.m. I was laying in bed.
I just want to see I just want people to guess real quick. Like John watched Oppenheimer. We talked about the movie, but then like just take a guess of like what John maybe would like just bring up, like a question he might have about any of those themes of that movie. Any ideas?
What is like again? I understand in the time. I get why it's so bad. But, like, now, and I don't even agree with it, and I don't like it, and I don't want to be labeled it.
How many disclaimers can we get?
But what is the evil at its base level of communism?
He's like, why is communism so bad? So what's the deal with this communism thing? Why does it get such a bad rap?
I think there should be rich people and poor people, but the rich people deserve it. The poor people don't work hard enough. But... why is like if someone was like I'm a communist, I'd be like, oh, I pretty strongly disagree, but like okay, I don't. Why is it so
I think that I think it's a chicken or the egg sort of thing. I would imagine it's been. I think on a logical level, the idea behind the idea of sharing everything and being one commune it works good in theory, but not in practicality because of just like of human nature. I think where it became evil might have almost been the guys preaching it were like evil.
That's what I mean.
Was
Like
doing it.
in the time,
Stalin was doing it. They were already fucking evil people.
In the time, you were okay, you're a Russian spy. But like, if you're right now, if you're like, I'm a communist, I'd be like, that's kind of crazy, but okay.
Oh, word? Okay. Like you fascist? All right. Like, whatever. No, I think it's one of those things where it just doesn't. It was. You know when you are arguing something and then people who are shitty agree with you and you're like, fuck.
I'm very familiar with the concept.
Exclusively, I'm familiar with this.
I keep arguing a thing and go, not like them, though. Does it sound like them?
Bro, when I was watching some of my own clips, I was like, fuck, I'm Ben Shapiro. I'm fucking Ben Shapiro. But that's what I think it probably was like. I bet you there were people who were like, wow, we're not going to, like, enslave our whole people and, like, kill them. We just want to, like, share the money, man. We're not like Hitler, but, like, you know, that sort of shit. So,
like, do you guys get what I'm saying, though?
That was so funny. Like, I'm just driving in. John's on the phone. We're talking all sorts of things. Like, we talked about work. We're talking about all sorts of other stuff. And then he's like,
I was naked in bed.
By the way, so like, what's so bad about communism? And then I'm like, I'm going like, I don't really know the answer either. And I swear to God, it felt like I said like, cue the music, put the black screen up too. The gang does communism. It felt like Charlie and Max trying to be like,
it seemed like it's just like everyone should get something, right? I don't agree. Some of you should die impoverished. But
I'm sure there are going to be so many people mansplaining this one to us.
Dude,
but
they got a cool logo. They got
the sickle and hammer.
The hammer and sickle's dope,
this
dude.
Is fire.
Maybe I'm a communist.
Let's just say one thing. The bad guys have fire logos.
Yeah.
Between, the big one.
American flag's pretty sick.
The stars and bars.
That's the bad guys to most of the world.
I know, for real. Yo, did you have a thought of like, and I know this was like, it was not like the movie did not touch upon this, so it's not like it was ignored. But like people were like celebrating the bomb.
Bro, that was crazy.
And I was like, even for a movie that is addressing the issues involved with dropping the bomb, that is still like a pretty, like if you were Japanese and you had, descendants that were fucking bombed, even for a movie that's saying like that they showed Oppenheimer and these guys like it weighed on them, that'd be wild to watch a scene where people were like waving the flags and jumping and like it was like that was our little Holocaust and we were like, fuck yeah.
Thank God we don't do it anymore. I'd be exhausted from celebrating. Imagine there was a party every time we dropped the bomb now. I'd have no time to do anything else.
What are you doing? I don't know. Celebrate
I got busy there. I got a bomb celebration again.
Well, I the only time, truly, didn't we pinpoint this like once on an episode? Like the only time like America really like comes together is like the last time we really did it was Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the only thing that comes together is killing other people. If you kill other foreigners.
But at least Osama was just the one. It was like in that scene, I was like, did they tell everyone what the bomb did?
Did they know who it hit?
It killed like a lot of people.
I would wonder. I mean, back then, if there were people, because obviously World War II is so fucked up, and there was a lot of real fucked up shit, plus a lot of propaganda. If there were people who were still like, I don't think we should do this, or I don't think we should have done that. That was fucked up. Or if everyone was on board, just like, we have to end this because it's fucking crazy.
I would guess I would like to think that there were some people going,
but
maybe not.
But I do wonder if people knew. Like, I can't imagine the outlets, one TV channel and 5 newspapers or whatever, we're gonna be like, so here's the deal, we're gonna fucking eradicate civilians. I'm sure they were like just lying about it, or sugarcoating it or whatever, right?
The fucking what's his name? Who plays the Secretary of State? I forget, whatever. But the when he's like, I feel like he's like, I don't want to live in America that no one's protesting this.
Yeah. Like,
He was
we should have
anyone have something to say?
Yeah. But if you didn't know the like maybe they didn't know the extent of it, maybe they thought there was going to be a military. But I think people were. I think they said it. They're like between Pearl Harbor and like how many people have been lost in like where
just even
like,
in the score.
Like our testing, our focus groups are telling us that everyone's like fucking drop them. What a wild move though. You know who is maybe the most like impactful minutes to impact movie role ever? Gary Oldman just being a motherfucker as Truman, right? Was he Truman in it? He was the president.
Oh, that was Gary Oldman?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he was a bad.
Yeah.
He's like, get that pussy out of here, whatever he says. Like, don't let that little
cry baby.
Cry baby.
Yeah.
Oh, when he was like, you think they care about you? I'm the guy who dropped it. I was like, whoa, this guy is fucking not nice.
That was the best action movie I've seen in a long time. Because it's not action in your classic sense, but like there was more tension and more. It's the best movie I've seen in a long time, but
where do you put it? I mean, I really feel like that for me. That was like, I also really like that shit.
There were people who were saying like, "Oh, you don't want to watch it again." I was like, I would watch it again right now.
Somebody said to me, like the first comment I read on an Oppenheimer review was just like, of course you boomer. Of course you like World War II, you boomer. It's just like, oh fuck, so true. The minute you start getting interested in World War II, just fucking kill yourself. How much money, like the cast, all are like $20 to $30 million people, but like they do it for like.
Did you see? I think it was you told me, and then it got, or someone told me, and then it got fed into my Instagram algorithm, and I've seen the video 5 times now.
The Ed Norton?
Yeah. That like, but it's crazy how often I've seen that now.
Mm-hmm. That's a specifically crazy one, but you think because like Christopher Nolan and just how big it is, they're like, I'll do it for like nothing, or do you think it's like usually I get 30 million, but I'm only on screen for like a fraction of the time, so you got to give me 10 million? Because even if you're giving these guys 5-10 million each, there's like 10 of them.
Yeah,
you know.
I would guess that I'd guess Oldman did it for basically not like very low, but I would guess they're all in like that 5 range.
You see the
not Cillian Murphy, but
what do you think?
Cillian Murphy. I was looking for it. I got it and tweet it. I think it didn't exist. I was looking.
What?
I googled last night Cillian Murphy naked because I was looking for him him sitting in the chair in the hotel.
Oh, that is great.
And I wanted to tweet me thinking about why communism's bad.
If that's not a meme yet, it will be. Like somebody we
sitting
just
there naked smoking a cigarette, like why is communism bad?
When they cut to him, because it's her naked in the chair first,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
and she's asking him about something, and they cut to him just fucking lady leg crossed up.
He's sitting like just.
You think his
get
nuts
the camera
are
on me real quick? Picture this, but with no clothes.
And he's so skinny too, though.
He's just sitting exactly like this, smoking a cigarette.
Dude,
what's the deal with communism?
If that screenshot is not on the internet yet, I'm going to go to the theater and fucking take a picture of the screen just so we can get that on the internet. I will tell you this much. Florence Pugh, I didn't even know that was Florence Pugh.
I didn't either. I don't really know.
I don't know.
I know the
Pugh,
name, but I don't know it.
So that's another like 10 million, you know?
Yeah.
Florence Pugh hopping up on that dick, making him read the World Destroyer text.
Yeah.
I was like Dahmer, I was like, this is a problem.
It's another one.
I was like, I like this a lot.
Oh yeah, getting hard reading books. I know that game, brother.
Bro, even worse. I was basically like, getting hard watching people read books. That's where I'm at. I was like, oh man.
Oh, unable to sexually perform, so something weird gets you.
Telling you, we're just like Oppenheimer, bro. We're just like Oppie. Isn't it funny they call him Oppie too, by the way?
Dude,
Oppie, hey Oppie, did we eradicate those people yet? Hey, Oppie.
I'd seen it on Twitter and I was like, that's weird. They're giving him that nickname. And I saw the movie. I was like, oh, they call him Oppie.
That's actually his nickname. I mean,
But
now I just got a text from Nate saying I want to come on the show. I've got some thoughts. No, nope. Closed door policy.
no one's coming on the show.
Okay, we just want to wrap up on this note. None of this matters because we've confirmed that we have aliens.
Oh, right.
So, like, literally, I don't care about Barbie. I don't care about Twitter. I don't care about any of this. Aliens exist, and we, like, have them.
Like
Like, we recovered them. I don't know if they were alive, but that same whistleblower is now in front of Congress under oath. So unless he's, like, got a death wish or wants to go to jail or is just a complete crazy person, because that's kind of the other options here. It's just like, why would this guy be doing this?
Yeah.
Like, okay, maybe he's gonna write a book at some point, cash in, but he's also, like, inviting a lot of potential, like, danger. He's got to, like, testify before Congress. Like, you don't just do this shit on a whim for fun. He was in front of Congress today. They said...
I would testify for fun, just to note.
Just to know?
To note.
Yeah, well, for the show?
Yeah.
If you didn't have a show, would you do it?
No.
Scott doesn't even have a podcast.
What is he, an idiot?
Yeah.
Tell the Barstool Sports, we won't sell it.
But for real, like, don't do this in front of Congress. Do this on your podcast.
Yeah.
Announce it on your show, and then be like, Congress, you can come to my studio. Imagine that. Imagine if your episode 1 is me under oath in front of Congress. It'd be sick. They said, so, like, the United States have recovered alien, like, spaceship, UFO of non-human materials. He said yes, and they said in those instances were the pilots of those crafts recovered as well. He said yes. They said, were those pilots of of human, like, descent or non-human? And he said they were non-human biologics.
That's kind of crazy.
And
I'm usually
sure
pretty like,
I'm sure we'll be tweeting
like,
about
that's pretty crazy.
Like,
that's pretty fucking nuts.
Because what's really weird, there is always this little part of me that's like, it could be the Russians or Chinese. Like, if we find a spaceship, some sort of flying craft, and you don't know what it is, that could either be like another country's, or it could be like the army found this, but they don't know that, like, 10 levels below in, like, the real army, they have this technology. Yeah. So, like, that sort of shit is explainable. If we're believing, these reports and stuff, that they're just like, this isn't a fucking human. Like,
and it can fly a plane.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and it's not just like it's not a fucking coyote either. Whatever it is can fly a fucking machine. I mean,
no, it's a giraffe.
Wouldn't that be so funny if we found out that, like, all this time, like, no, hippos are just the aliens. One of the planes landed. We opened up the back. It was a bunch of hippos. They've been here the whole time.
That'd be much bigger news.
So much bigger. Like, hippos are aliens.
Yo, Jeffrey the giraffe can fly a plane.
Well, there is a ridiculous theory, the cow theory about how they're aliens.
No,
there's
I
a
don't.
theory. It's not. It's a very silly one. Like, I mean, of course it is, but if you think about it, you can, like, disprove it pretty quickly. But the thought is that cows were actually the most advanced race. And they knew that the Earth was going to, like, expire. Like, over time, like, shit, we're heading down a path that, like, the Earth is going to go barren in 1 billion years. So the best thing they could have done for life on Earth is to become cow-like, to then, like, feed and help humans, because humans will be the thing. They recognize that, like, they can't build and fly planes the way that they're built, so they are, like, sacrificing themselves to humans so that humans can be the best they can be, because they recognize that's going to be the race to get us off of Earth. And hopefully they'll bring a couple cows with us and we'll repopulate another Earth or whatever. That's the theory.
But
But
been an
obviously very
all-time
ridiculous.
backfire.
But it would be very funny if giraffes were, like, the most important fucking race, and the whole time they're just sitting there like, eating leaves, being like, these fuckers don't even know.
I think the cows were like, we sacrificed ourselves for the human race. And the first time they saw a slaughterhouse, they're like, not like that! Not like that!
Veal? We're going to kill what, babies? I didn't say that.
No. You're taking advantage of us. God. So, guys, we didn't think this through. We didn't think it through. Look at this gun they invented. Just go an inch into our head to kill us fast. Why didn't you think of that, Steve? Dude. And then like their climate countdown has reached 0, and they're like, it didn't happen. Fart! Everyone fart a lot. Like, I'm not looking like an idiot 100 years off. Let's bring this number down to 10 years off. What if aliens are delicious?
I've never thought about eating. Listen.
The things we
eat every other living thing, with the exception of maybe a couple. Like I don't think we eat like porcupines or shit like that. Like some weird stuff we don't eat. But for the most part, everything else is fair game. So why would we not? How about I bet you if aliens walked on 4 feet?
Yeah, the legs, 2. You think the 2 is the issue?
I think that's a huge thing. Like,
but birds walk on 2.
But walking's like a secondary thing.
Yeah.
You know? I think if you walk upright.
What if we start having congressional hearings? Like, can we eat them?
That would be great. You're gonna have like groups, like environmental groups that protect endangered species. Yeah. Be like, don't eat the aliens. They're outside picketing. You got like the same people who are like doing like the cows and dairy of America are like, we gotta fucking herd them up and eat them. I mean, when you look at an octopus, that looks like a fucking alien. Yeah. You know, so like we imagine if you saw some big bulbous thing with tentacles that was an alien, you'd be like, we should deep fry that. I bet if we chop them up into little rings and we deep fry it, it'll be like an appetizer. I'll get a round of alien for the table.
Dude, I get very annoyed with politicians who do things like to troll the other side or stuff like that. I mean, just fucking be a politician, man.
Yeah.
But if I was on that congressional hearing today, I'd be from Massachusetts and I'd say, what do they taste like? I do it in a southern accent, like, just in case you were only playing the clip. Like, don't say where I'm from, but what do they taste like with a dry rub?
Now, Senator, I do ask you, are they sweet or savory?
What did he say? The senator from Kentucky says, like I'm holding my thing over my nameplate here. The senator from Kentucky is curious what they taste like.
Dude, I've never thought of that. I mean, it's crazy to think that we would, you know, if they got here, they're advanced and all that sort of shit. So in no way would we be like enslaving and herding and cooking them, but just like a one-off, like, yo, because listen,
bro. First of all, if they taste good, we'll be enslaving them real fast.
Well, but I don't know if we'd be able to. I don't know if we'd be able to. You know what I mean?
We got our ways.
The humans, we perfected that shit.
We figured out slavery.
I think I would say this. Just knowing the human race and how people do it, like the people who stumbled upon the dead biologic either ate it or fucked it. like somebody in the morgue or whatever was like, what do you think it feels like? And then another guy was like, I'm pretty hungry. Got that George Foreman grill over there. Like, what if we just throw a little piece on? But yeah, like, is that even illegal? Like, if you eat an alien, be like, ain't no laws on that, man.
Dude, it's like everything we used to do with the internet. Like, laws got to catch up to us.
Right. We're ahead of the game right now.
Takes forever in Congress.
Yeah, you're gonna try to pass a bill that says you can't eat aliens. See you in 2055.
Buddy, don't worry, I'm already full.
Dude, could you imagine if you were
It would be very nervous the first shit you take.
That first minute that you're like, okay, my belly feels all right, but the minute that you like burp or something feels weird, you're like, oh fuck,
like, damn,
I ate a poisonous alien. Yeah, I did it. I'm gonna be the first guy to ever die from a poison alien.
Pretty strong suspicion this was gonna happen.
Can you imagine being like, you know, some what people considered to be like some Roswell, New Mexico crackpot who was there in the 50s, and it's like, oh, that's old man Samson, and he like all he does is sit and rock on his chair telling silly stories, and then it's like, I fucking told you so.
Yeah.
The ultimate I told you so is if any of this comes out and it's like, not only is it all real, but specifically like those things. Like, yes, there was a crash back then.
Yeah.
And there was, there is all this shit that I've been telling you. They do have these weird size heads. They do all the stories that seem to check out like in different, all across the world. It's like, yeah. I want a fucking apology from all you dickheads.
Between podcasts and the discovery of aliens, for sure, we are just eradicating the mental health community. We don't need you anymore.
Yeah. None of that matters, and we already got you covered.
It's true, and
talk about it here.
Sometimes we get a little sad stuff. We talk about it.
Yeah,
we're good.
Sorry, therapists. The biggest threat the biggest threat aliens pose is to therapists.
Yeah.
and religious people. It's like all your priests and therapists are out because
Don't
we
worry,
proved
we got little Instagram videos. It convinces everyone else that this stuff's normal. Like that it's abnormal. And they're like, do you sometimes not make your bed right away? That's ADHD.
I don't know. Like, again, though, I guarantee nobody really cares. It's making a little bit of waves, but probably not. And then there's going to come a picture, and people are going to say, I want a video. And then there will be a video, and they'll say, I want it to be HD. I just, until they're like talking
I'm usually
to
a
us.
pretty good skeptic. Not skeptic, but I was kind of always like, I'll admit this one's got me. I'm like, pretty weird.
Yeah. So you thought more so than the ship? Like, for some reason, a living thing is different to you?
Yeah, it's not hugely different. Like I believed it. Where I was like, oh, okay, it's real.
Mm-hmm.
And so like,
but the fact that they have
this moves the it's real needle, which was already in I believe you, it's real, is now like, okay, it's real. I don't know what that means next.
What's
what
also crazy is that like, it's always like the search for intelligent life, because I think a lot of people, even skeptics, would admit that, like, yes, somewhere in the universe is a microscopic living, one-celled organism. But who cares about that? What we're talking about is there's something with, brain capacity and that can manipulate the world and arms and legs, or something that can move around. And I mean, if it's flying a ship, it's like,
oh, I know a guy who flies, an idiot. I'm in the believe meter. I'm not there at intelligent yet.
Okay. That would be very funny too, though. Like, everyone assumes if they're here, that means they are super intelligent. And
what if they're just Columbus in us?
Well, that's like what if what if they're we're really good at some things and horrible at others. I don't know. It's like there's definitely things that like if you think about the human race, it's like some of them can build like a spaceship.
Yeah.
And some of them are.
Dude, imagine you just come boys with aliens. You guys got barnacles on your taint too? Fucking wild, right?
like theoretically, it could be an alien that's using what if a idiot got a hold of a military flying a ship or machinery or something like that, and that were to crash, you'd be like, this must be like a genius. It's like, no, that one's stupid.
Yeah.
He just obviously the chances of them, if they flew here and they crashed it, they probably are the smart people. But it's like there's just such a wide array. You don't assume that like every person in a race of beings, a species, a race, whatever, are all going to be geniuses.
Yeah.
I think aliens are always portrayed as everything's so advanced that they all are on another level.
Yeah.
Might be a dumb alien. We
can fly to space. 10 of us.
Yeah, right. Like the vast majority of us are fucking morons down here jerking off on peas.
It's a good point. That's a fair point.
No, I just, man, if they catch a living one, that would be nuts. Imagine unveiling.
Stomachs will rumble in.
Bro, imagine unveiling, like, how do you think they would do that? Like, there would be a press conference or something, right? It would take over every channel. President Biden, whoever, a bunch of presidents would be like on a panel and be like, we have in our possession like an alien biologic, whatever. And then they raise a fucking
that would be like
there's a big cage and they pull a blanket off of it and there's just an alien in there, like the fucking circus.
That would be the ultimate, this is crazy, this is so exciting. And they pull it off and feels weird. It feels weird now.
Boo, put him back. Send him back.
All right, that was it was fun. It was more fun in my mind. Now it really feels like something on two legs is in a cage, and that makes me uncomfortable. Let him out. They'd be like, he's gonna kill. Let him out. I'd rather be dead than this uncomfortable.
God, it's so fucking fascinating. I love this shit.
I'm like pretty convinced that the past like 2 years has been really more of like a marketing rollout from the government.
I kind of think so too.
More of like a soft launch. If
like,
anything.
yeah, like I think they were like, we need to start to prepare them for this possibility. So like, here's a website with all of the information from the Freedom of Information Act. We do have non-human materials. Here's a story like that we're gonna declassify that the Tic Tac video to just get you guys thinking, because if we just went boom, from 0 to 100, it would fuck people up. At least they're like kind of thinking it now. Like, I wonder if this guy David Grush is like an industry plant. Yeah. Like, rather than a whistleblower, they said, okay, you're in the military, you're an Air Force guy. You look great, you talk right, you act right. Like, you're gonna be our guy that we're gonna use to roll this out. That's really not that. It's not. I don't know if that is what's happening. Who knows what's going on right now? But I think that's a very valid way that they would do it if they were like, okay, in the next 5 years, we're going to have to tell people, so let's start the process now. So, yeah, the soft launch. Like someone's going to go Instagram official soon. Yeah. Someone's going to make it like FBO. We're going to define. We're going to define the relationship. Yeah. What?
Maybe they gave us like a hard date. Like,
yeah, like by 2024. So like by 2024, we're coming down, whether you like it or not. So. Get your movies out, do your fun shit, because we're fucking coming. I do love the idea that it all did start, to tie it all back to Oppenheimer as we wrap up. Like, some people believe that like it was amazing, phenomenal. It could do at least 2.5 interviews on it. That like the atomic bomb was kind of like the radar that like people like aliens were like, oh, those guys figured out. Like, because, like they feel it or can see it or whatever. And they were like, oh, another race figured out nuclear energy. That's time. That's when we know they're smart enough to go fuck with them. Yeah. Because it all started, like, right around then.
It actually did set off a chain of events then.
That was a great line, man. Yeah. That is so cool. I also learned, I thought it was time hops with the black and white and color. It's... through color is through Oppenheimer's eyes, and through black and white is through Robert Downey Jr.'s eyes, through their perspective. It still, I think, does match a little bit with the time, but not fully. So I'm thinking back, like when you first saw the Albert Einstein stuff, it was in black and white from the house where Robert Downey Jr. was, and then in color, it's in front of the lake where they were talking. So it's definitely a movie that I'm going to have to go watch several times, over and over and over again. All right, see you next episode. All right, big thanks for watching. If you made it through this whole episode, that means you should be subscribed. There's so many of you out there who watch and don't subscribe, so make sure you are a KFC Radio subscriber. Make sure you get all the content when it drops. Click that button now.
I have 9 fingers. I'm still subscribed. It's that easy.